What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Bookstreet Boys podcast. And we've had a little bit of a glow up. And I'm not just talking about Tom. I'm talking about all of
No, it's just Tom.
This is Tom. It's just Tom. He's had a glow up. His arms have gotten bigger since I saw him last weekend. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. We hope you guys enjoy the new look. And we're going to be doing this live for this season, which has definitely a specific amount of episodes that I've currently decided on for sure. And I will not be just kind of doing this week to week. And we definitely made this decision in the board meetings months ago. We did not decide today to switch it up. Yeah.
It's very corporate.
We've got a lot of awesome people in the chat, but we have some awesome people here with us tonight. So let's start in the top left and introduce ourselves, what our channel is, who we are, and then we'll get started with episode 1 of season 2.
Are we the top left here?
Yes, you're the top left.
Oh, yes. Hello. We are Tabitha and
Sherilyn
from Books, Beverages, and Besties.
So much energy. Oh, boy. All right, move into top right.
Oh, I thought we were like saying something about our channel. Okay, I'm Noelle from Noelle D, and also Noelle of LBAP.
And I'm Tom.
You don't say.
That's Tom. He's orange. He's Tom Orange. He would not even wear the shirt that everyone else is wearing.
He's not matching all of us.
He has it with him. But he has it with him.
It's here in spirit. I'm wearing it in spirit.
Yeah, he's wearing it in spirit. I believe you. You know, I'm Preacher Reeds. I am the host, kind of. And I'm excited to have another awesome episode of the Bookstreet Boys podcast, season 2, episode 1. We're going to be having a blast. We're going to change up not just the look and not just being live. We're going to lean into what I think was the best part of season 1. And let's be honest, the best part of season 1 was the soapboxes. And so we've cut down a little bit on kind of the extra fluff. And most of the episode is just going to be us ranting about things and responding to it. And so everyone's going to get a chance to get on the soapbox. We are going to have a user question in the middle, but this episode will be a little bit different than last season. We'll have 3 rants, then we will have a user question, and then 2 rants, and then we will have our final section, which will be talking about what we're reading and any updates on the channel. So we're excited for that, and we're live. So the whole time we're going to have to be looking at these comments, right? Keys is here, Justin's here, Jay's here, Cross is here. So many people are here. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Gingerbread says that he is tuning in from work. Now, Gingerbread is a surgeon, so I'm a little worried. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. He's not. He works at a restaurant. So at worst, someone's food is currently not being cooked properly. But that's okay. Yeah. I apparently said what's good. That was me. Angel's here. Oki's here. EJ's here. THX is here. So many people are here. The Venerable I Samwise is here. So we're really excited. Would a glow up mean Preacher wears a mat?
Bag over your head.
He totally decided last minute. Rude. Hi, Samwise says, so good to meet all 5 of you IRL last week. And that is a great transition to what we're going to talk about first. And so before we do talk about all of our soapboxes, the first thing I want to talk about is the gala. Let's talk a little bit about the gala, where we got these awesome shirts that Tom won't wear because it's the wrong color, but that's okay. I want to talk about this gala because it was such a good time. So here's what I want to do. All of us obviously were able to attend. This was the Sun Eater Gala for Shadows Upon Time, Christopher Rocchio. We had a couple awesome booktubers kind of hosting it and doing some Q&As and things like that as well. We got to hang out with a lot of those guys. It was so great. I want to go around, and I'll start with myself and just say what your favorite part of the gala was. And I didn't tell you to be prepared for this question because I want it to be real. I want it to be from the heart, And so what is your favorite part about the gala? I'll start. I thought my favorite part about the gala was just how much everybody there in the entirety of the thing, right? There was people there who were like me, who were like type A, we'll talk to anybody. And there was everything in between, but it just seemed like everybody kind of like, they all enjoyed each other's presence, even if everyone didn't talk to everybody, or some people just kind of just took it in, right? They just kind of soaked in the experience. It just felt like this really awesome place to be, where you got to experience something. And the thing that I experienced the most was watching Christopher talk about his books, and just watching
Mhm.
how much like love he had for the story, how much love he had for us, for enjoying the story, and just getting to see him just kind of gush about it. I don't know if you guys paid attention to him when he was showing off his new stuff as well. He's like fist pumping while he's talking about it. Like he's
Mhm.
He's so excited.
excited. And his wife was so excited for him, and it was sweet. She never even read the books, but it was just everybody's excitement, right? That kind of an event is easy for me because, like, again, I'll talk to the wall. But like even people I know who are not as much type A just seem to just fall right into place and just love it. And so that was me, just the overall vibe, and seeing Christopher just gush and consider the fact that he finished it, was so cool. Tom, favorite part of the gala?
Okay, so if we're gonna just stick to the actual gala itself, before, I don't know if you want to include some of the extra activities that happened, but for the gala itself, it was really just the vibe that the whole event had, because it was still small. Like, it was large enough that obviously there was a lot of people there and everything, but it was still small enough that it had like an intimate feel to it, kind of like what you're talking about, where you could kind of gauge where you wanted to be, of like, are you going and meeting every single person, talking, taking pictures? Do you want to be on the more of like, I'm just here and like being here? But the entire event also had just this energy of like chaotic good to it, where like it was obviously planned very well and everything, but not everything worked as expected. Like, as soon as we got there, right, for the VIP, the ticketing system that they were trying to use like wasn't working, and so they were just kind of like going on the fly, and it just had this like really wholesome, chaotic good to it, where it was so clear that like everybody was there for like the same thing. Everybody was there to just have like a good time and be a part of this thing everybody really cared about. And that was just awesome. I've been to other events where they're larger, and so you kind of end up with people who are just either dragged there, or like there's this big thing going on, and this one did not have it. So
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it was so funny when she rolled in and she said, "Okay, we paid for a Q&A system, and I forgot to use it." Or during the Q&A, and then she was like, "So Mike, you just got to run around with a microphone." And then Jacob was behind Mike the whole time with the camera. Like,
yeah,
it was fantastic.
yeah. So that like chaotic good energy was just like top tier. I think it
Mm.
was pretty special.
Totally agree. Noelle, favorite part of the gala?
Mine was definitely probably the most cliche answer of just being able to actually meet everybody in person. And I've been able to talk with a bunch of creators online. And even though I'm a very small channel, I still felt so welcomed in the group by everybody. And there were even people who came out from the crowd and like came up to me and was like, "Hey, can you sign my Sun Eater book? You're Noelle, right?" And it was really cool because like they were doing it like yearbook and everybody was signing books. I thought that was really, really fun and such a sweet idea. And I haven't been able to be like good in crowds for a long time, like post Marine Corps and things like that. So being able to be comfortable and be like, I just felt like everybody there was like, these are my people. Like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in this moment in time. Everything just felt like right for me. So I just loved being able to meet people and actually form like better bonds and friendships with people, because you can meet people online and talk to them. And then when you finally get to meet them face to face, it feels different. And everybody was there and has same like vibes, and we all like the same things, so we can all talk about a whole bunch of different things. And it was really sweet too, seeing Christopher Rocchio's relationship with his wife as well, and just how like sweet they were to each other, and how both of their personalities like work together. I thought it was just so sweet. It was just great all around, honestly.
So true. You broke the ice for me. I'd met some people the night before because we had some things. But you broke the ice for me as the first person that I just made eye contact with, that I was like, crap, I know that person. I hope they recognize me, right? Like,
Yeah, I did.
we hadn't planned to see each other, and so it was like I saw you in the line. I was like, it's Noelle. I'm gonna say hi, and let's hope that she knows that I'm preacher. And it worked. It worked out well. So,
And then we sat together.
yeah, it was great. It was great.
was
But no, 100%. Just the vibe in general, and everybody. It felt like I'd been around them so many times. Right? It was that weird combination of there was a little bit of that awkwardness of like, okay, I know you, but I've never met you. But at the same time, within 30 seconds, it was like, oh, we've all just been around each other for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Besties, we'll start with Tabitha.
Oh, so I did love the wife's energy. I loved that she was like a bulldog protecting her guy, and I thought that was so great. And when she came up to the VIP room and she was like, okay, she like dinged her glass and was like, who has a book? No one? Great. Who has their wristband? No one. Awesome. Love to see it. It was like such a great, she was so much fun. Yeah. And then being able to sit down and like do the trading cards, that was such a hoot. Mm-hmm. And then seeing what's next, the trailer, the work that they did to the trailer for what's next was absolutely insane. So being able to be in the room when that happened was awesome.
Yeah, someone's got some Unreal Engine ability for sure. That's for sure. All right. Last but not least, what was your favorite part of the gala?
My favorite part, besides literally meeting all these people that we've like become friends with over the past few months on the internet, getting to meet everyone in real life and be like, oh my gosh, you're a real person, and like just hang. That was awesome. But one of the best parts for me was just seeing Christopher Rocchio just as a normal dude, like a nerd, and just someone who's so excited about his like children of books. I had never watched any of his videos. I'd never really seen him be a person. So he was just like an author entity in my mind, like a non-human just essence. And so seeing him just as a real person, as a normal dude who's just so excited for what he's making and so proud of everything he's accomplished. And just hearing him talk the whole time, I was just like, oh my gosh, I love him. Like it just made him a real person in my mind, which I hadn't had yet. And that's something that like a lot of authors just exist that way in my head, as like they are the person out there, the creator who exists, but then actually getting to see him in real life and just like feel his energy, feel his excitement and his love, and just feel everything that's gone into his books, all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the love, and just years of labor. It was so good to see him and be like, yes, I have a deeper connection to your work now that I have you to like connect the dots. So
100%.
That was kind of my favorite part.
100%. And that's going to be the problem for like, and I'm going to rant a little bit about something related to this later. I'm going to have a biased like opinion of Shadows Upon Time at this point. Like it gets an extra star just from the experience of like, now it's connected forever to that for me. Right.
Yeah.
And like, that's going to boost it. And that's fine because I don't care.
Exactly.
Overall, I think that it was so cool to see. I've played music with a decent amount of like bands that I enjoyed, and almost all the time when I met them, they were like really pretentious in person and like really thought they were way more important than they really were. Like we weren't big and we didn't play arena shows. We played like these little 200-300 person venues, and the bands would typically like sequester themselves and not talk to people and just kind of act like they were above the crowd for the most part. And so I think if you were someone who didn't know BookTube at all, you didn't know Christopher Rocchio at all, and you walked into that room, if you were the 10 random people getting on the train that night, you would not have been able to pick out who was who, like who's the big YouTuber, who is the author prior, obviously, to them getting on stage, like who are the important people in this room. It wasn't like that at all. It just felt like a couple hundred people just got together to enjoy something they loved, whether they had 50K subs on YouTube or not. And that was just so cool to be a part of. And then obviously the before and after festivities were also a blast. But all I will say is that Jeff's shoe will live in infamy forever.
Jeff's shoe, man. Never forget. Somebody asked if I kept it. I should have kept Jeff's shoe. That would have been
crazy.
hilarious. No, I wasn't gonna mug somebody's shoe from them. You know, that just the guy was already down bad.
He was down, dude.
I'm sure he would have given it to Chance willingly.
Yeah, he was down bad in multiple ways, I think.
He was. He definitely was getting picked up when we were leaving. So when we all walked back to the car with Jake, and he was driving us back to the bar, there was definitely 2 police cars and an ambulance right there. So definitely Jeff was down bad. Yeah, pour one out for Jeff. He doesn't need to drink anymore, so pour it out for sure.
I was gonna pour it on my lap.
I gotta read this one because it's so funny. Sam said, "Hate to break it to you, I'm 33% in shadows of my time, and it's total."
That was not on my bingo card to hear Sam call the book total ass.
That's a lie, and I know it's a lie because Riggs wasn't in Discord chat, in voice chat today after he got off work, and it's because he couldn't stop reading Shadows Upon Time. He's always in Discord voice chat, and he wasn't in there, and it's because he was sequestered in his room, just pounding that book out. So you're lying. Okay.
I'm so excited.
I need to do that. I barely read any of it.
That checks out.
I almost like I'm reading it and I'm like sad. I'm like, do I want to finish?
Like sad that it's ending.
I definitely get that feeling when I get towards the end of a series that I really love. Like I remember when I was on the last book of The Expanse and I was like, oh man, this is over.
Yeah, I feel that. But overall, what a fantastic weekend. I want to do it again. Somebody mentioned like we should have a booktube event like this and invite a couple a couple authors who maybe have releases around that time period. And the same person said, I think just as many people would come just because we built these communities that all want to kind of be together. That could be such a really cool thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to task Noelle with putting that together.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you're the one who was saying that while we're at the event. You're like, Bookstreet Boys hang out every year.
Yeah. I mean,
you did say that.
Yeah.
I do hear that Mike is coming to Dallas in February.
That's right.
Mike,
for an event that will be announced.
Well, Dallas is not close to 3 of
the
5
we came to you. You can come to us.
Okay, but like, let's use numbers here. Right, we're all within like a 300-mile radius of each other. So you're the problem.
I will be very far away in February. So
darn it.
Tragic.
Rick says he can be here in 15 minutes. So, Preacher's banned the corners. Apparently, it's people are liking the bubbles. At least Brian's liking the bubbles. Mm-hmm. And whatever Brian likes.
Brian has taste.
Yes.
Brian does have taste. Brian. Also, I'm gonna hijack this entire conversation real quick to talk directly to Brian.
Okay.
Brian, I have something for you that I have been meaning to ship to you for over a month at this point. So at some point, I'm going to stop being lazy and go to the UPS store that is, I kid you not, 47 seconds away from my house and send it to you. It's sitting right here. I walk by it multiple times a day and I have not gone to ship it to you yet. So
wow,
it's gonna happen.
Tom, the first step is admitting you have a problem.
Oh, I'm good at that part. It's the next steps that.
The second step is having a guy like Chance hold you up.
Yeah.
And then a guy like Preacher help you sit down on the curb and not die. And then a guy like Tom hold your shoe.
And girls like me and the besties who walk away and don't know what's going on.
Honestly, you guys needed. It was a good thing to walk away.
Yeah,
I didn't even see what was happening.
Corner.
Some more people
I saw
to walk away. So
half of the people went this way, half of the people went this way, and I just chose to go left. Like I didn't know I was just on the other side.
I was just hanging with Dom from Gears of War, walking down the street. So
I mean, how cool was that, dude? Chance,
that was pretty cool.
What a random surprise.
I think that Chance fanboyed that guy harder than he fanboyed anybody there. Right?
I think so.
He fanboyed that guy. He was like, Christopher, who? The guy from Gears of War is here. I don't know, but no, it was such a good time, and we need to do something like that again for sure. And I do think that like we could bless some authors with our communities. We could put something together. We could say, hey, like here's 3 authors, and we'll invite Mike's crew, we'll invite Tutor Ramble's crew, we'll invite the Bookstreet Boys, we'll invite Talking Story. We get 300 people there, easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? I just need Tom to put it together.
I believe in us.
Yeah, Tom.
I'll have my AI do it. Don't worry.
Your AI do it? Oh, I like
I'll have
that.
my AI do it.
I like that. Yeah. Just make sure we pick a better ticketing process for registration.
Sounds like
that'll
a
work.
job
That'll
for
work.
Jeff's shoe.
Sounds like a job for Jeff's shoe.
Yeah, he's in charge.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think anything else we want to say about the gala besides just it was a great time and we were all stoked to meet each other and we need to do it again.
Sherilyn kicked a bunch of people's behinds in bowling, and I would like that to be known.
That's
She
right.
used the
Don't worry
bumper.
about how I
Okay,
got there.
hold on. We've got to talk
Everyone
about
had
bowling.
the option. Everyone had the option.
We got to talk about. I had a game that started with a turkey, which is 3 strikes in a row.
Yes,
Just so
you did.
in case you're not. And then
Witness.
before the
Tom.
game was over, it cut off on us, so I didn't even get to finish.
That's
Mm.
right. Yeah, it
Tragic.
didn't even give us a warning when we were.
I know it was just like
like,
you're
and
done.
it's
I
over.
was clearly going to win the second game. Like, clearly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely you for sure.
Absolutely no contest.
All I know is my turn would come up and they wouldn't even give me
And I
a
would
chance.
scream at
Yeah, they
you
wouldn't even give me a chance to walk over to them. Just start yelling at me.
because you'd just been talking to people for
Yapping,
like all the other
big
tournaments.
Heaven
without paying any
forbid
attention.
I build relationships.
We
with
take
the
bowling very
people in my
seriously. That's why she won.
community. All right.
Justin
I'm
was
just
also
trying to build
killing bowling, by
relationships
the
with the
way.
people. Yeah, Justin was good. Shay, cramming for finals, but stopping by to say I'm a huge fan.
Good
We're big
luck.
fans
Everybody,
of you,
by the
Shay.
way, I don't know if I'm
We are
supposed
big
to
fans
tell
of Shay.
everybody this, but Shay crushed his exam after he got home.
He
which
did.
is
Yes!
So
So
extremely impressive. Because
Yes.
like
Love
when he
that.
told me that he would like, yeah, I got this huge exam like tomorrow. I'm like, why are you here? I mean,
he was
go.
studying in the airport.
Yeah. That was,
Yeah.
that was
Commitment.
crazy. Riggs said he got my game 2 power spike and the game ended. Sure, buddy. Sure.
You're just
Matt,
jealous he didn't play as well.
Matt is calling me a generational yapper.
That's a huge
Yes.
compliment.
You know how good of a friend Matt is? Matt lives like in southern North Carolina / northern South Carolina.
Doxing
And,
you
um,
already.
Dox him.
No, he's
Rude.
fine. He's fine. And he's really close friends with me and Briggs. And he drove all the way up to go to the movie with us on Saturday.
Cannot
Ooh,
believe he
You're
did that.
that friend.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why?
We're just that important to him, I guess. I think he was like secretly hoping he could get into the gala. And I just didn't have that much pull. I tried. I just
Oh, come on. Their system was down.
I was gonna
mean,
say the ticketing was
Why?
down. You could've
genuinely,
walked in.
Matt, you could have taken a right and hit the elevator. And I don't think anyone would have ever known. I don't think
That's
anyone would
true,
have ever
honestly.
known. But it was a great time. All right, so it is time for our first half of the most important part of the evening, and that is our soapboxes. Starting with Tom Orange. Tom, you're on the soapbox. It's time to go. Let us know, what are we ranting about this evening?
Yeah, so it's a very simple one, but it is something that I slightly encountered at the gala. So at the gala, there were people who had already read Shadows Upon Time. They had e-arcs, whatever. Apparently, the UK had an intern who was just approving everybody's e-arc from NetGalley because like nobody got denied for it, which is crazy. But basically, if you start a sentence that goes, "I'm not going to spoil anything," and you continue to say any more words other than that, you are wrong. Like, absolutely, you are wrong. Like, I'm not somebody who's super bothered by spoilers, but there are people who are. And if you say, "I'm not going to spoil anything, but blank and blank and blank about this book that nobody's read yet," that's technically we're all getting 2 days early. That's a crazy thing to do.
Is this hypothetical or did this happen?
No, this 100% happened.
I want to say I was there for that because I remember you ranting about it at the gala. It was someone said it, and you're like, if you start with this, you're spoiling something.
Yeah, and like I said, for what the person's like, they didn't really spoil anything, but it would be. I'm gonna use something that everybody knows. So like it would be like when Harry Potter 7 was coming out, somebody read it early and was like, Neville
I
has a
haven't read
big
the last
moment.
book.
Well, you're 25 years too late. I'm not sorry.
I watched the
Spoiler
movies when
alert.
I was young.
But it would be like yeah, Neville has a big role to play in book 7. It's like, well, now every time that character is like present or mentioned, I'm like waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting now.
So
Someone told you that someone had a big moment. That's what happened.
basically, somebody was like, the role this person plays in.
Just wait.
Yeah. And it's like,
Um,
yeah, and I'll stay very vague because I don't want to do it to
Of
anybody.
course. Yeah.
you know. And like I
Um,
said,
It's your
it's not really a spoiler, but it's like, don't. You can't start a sentence with "I'm not going to spoil anything" and then kind of spoil something. So, guys, Snape killed Dumbledore. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Do you guys know Harry Potter was kind of like Jesus? All right,
Wow.
moving on.
Well,
Moving
the
on. Yeah.
silence after that was
And just like,
Yeah, so that, like I said, short
Wait.
and sweet, but I think an impactful rant.
All of the books that Sam has read, and he has now read Harry Potter 7. That is wild.
Big miss.
It's too
Nah,
popular. It's not
spoiled it for everyone.
It's not some like weird fantasy retelling of like 7
I'm sorry. That's
avant-garde poets.
you got to throw up Shay's comment there because like that's despicable to say, dude. Like how dare you?
That's a good one.
How dare you?
I mean, there was a spoiler in the merch we got because one of them said it's sun-eating time. You know?
Now we know.
Now we know that it's sun-eating time.
Yeah.
But as folks will say, not to spoil the book, but the ending broke me. Oh.
Yeah, that fits right in too. Yeah.
Did you guys see?
I think we're probably all a little guilty, but like
Yeah.
maybe, at a release of a book, you want to reel it in a little bit.
Like literally, it's not even actually out yet.
Somebody in another Discord that will not be named dropped a huge Red Rising book 6 spoiler and forgot to put the second straight line on the back end of the spoiler.
I did that the other day.
And then didn't catch it for like until someone added them and was like, dude, you just and it was
I did that the other
on
day.
like book
That's
3.
crazy.
You did?
Remember, it was when we were talking about Disquiet Gods, and I instantly fixed it,
Okay.
but I did that. Yeah,
Man.
I fixed it in like 3 seconds, but it was there
Hmm.
technically.
But no, I agree with you. It's so I understand why people get like that though, because it's like they just want to talk about it with someone, It's
Yes,
just like,
of course.
I just want to, and you never know how like spoiler sensitive people are. Like Jay in the chat he was like, dude, don't spoil me because I told him something that happened on like the back cover of a Stephen King novel, right? He's like, no, stop, dude, stop. And I'm like, it's the first page, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, but some people I know they don't even like to read the back covers before they read a book. So
Yeah,
because
we
sometimes
rarely
the
do.
publishers
Yeah,
they just straight up spoil
Yeah.
stuff. By Blood, by Salt. If you want to read that book, don't read the back cover. It
I already read it. That's
much
fantastic.
more enjoyable if you don't read the back cover. But anyway,
Mhm.
I feel like if someone wants to start a conversation like what they wanted to have with you, they should start it with, especially at that event, hey, did you by chance read the arc? No? Okay, I'm gonna go find someone who did.
Yeah,
And
because there
then
were
they can talk
people.
to someone about it because there were plenty of people who have read the book already.
That's fair. That's fair. Did you guys see? I guess the new. Oh my gosh, what's the name of the sci-fi author, The Martian? Andy Weir. The new his new movie coming
trailer?
out. The trailer.
Oh
Apparently
my
spoiled,
God.
Like
Oh,
a huge
man.
plot
That was
point.
so upsetting.
Haven't watched it. Haven't watched it or
I
read it.
haven't.
So I'm not touching.
Don't-
I definitely
do
do
it.
not watch movie trailers because if we think
Yeah.
books are bad, movie trailers are like,
Oh, gosh,
here's
they
the
ruin
last 30
everything.
seconds of the most important part of the movie. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
That's
also
been my trailers for a long time.
Have you guys kind of tangential to what Gingerbread is saying here? Have you guys ever read a book where the titles of each chapter like basically tell you what's about to happen? I've had this happen. I think it was the Library trilogy. I think it was book 1, each chapter was like supposed to be like a sly reference to something that was going to happen, and it was like half the time I was going, okay, so I know what's happening in this chapter.
Yeah,
Like,
epigraphs often do that.
Funny enough, the titles of certain books, I won't even say what they are, so I don't put the seed in anybody's mind. But there are some titles of books where you once you finally understand what's going on, you're like, well, now that I know the name of this last book, I like understand what's going to happen in it to like a certain extent. It doesn't really spoil everything, but it's like I know this certain thing is now going to be either back in play or play a part in something.
Yeah.
So,
did you guys know that in the Wars of Light and Shadow, there's wars, and they're between light and shadow?
Well,
Crazy.
thanks, preacher.
So sorry.
Crazy.
So sorry I did that to you guys.
You should have asked first if we wanted spoilers.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I definitely think that that's such a difficult thing to do in an environment like that, where like, you know, not to be mean to anyone either, like probably half the people there not the most like socially excited like adept in the world either. So they're like, wait, let me tell you about this thing, and you're like, hold on. Is this a spoiler? No, it's not a spoiler.
And it is such an easy thing to do because like you feel like to yourself like you're not spoiling anything. And then like it's not even that you're really spoiling, it's that you're kind of like leading almost, you know, like leading you down a certain like, you know, I just am now paying attention to something that I probably would have paid attention to anyway, because like I'm not surprised by what they said, but it just makes me think about it a little bit more. So
yeah.
Samway's comment is crazy.
Where we at? This one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as
Sounds not enjoyable.
Any of the newer Stephen King, Richard Bachman re-releases. They all have a intro written by Stephen King where he just says the ending of the book.
Oh yeah.
I got the Running Man spoiled for me in the introduction to the book. He just says it. He's like, yeah, you know, as Bachman, I like to do crazy things, like in my books this way, and I'm like, that was.
Yeah, you gotta skip intros these days.
Yep.
Yeah, because that started happening to me. I don't remember what book it was, but I was reading the introduction and it started spoiling the book and talking about plot points in the book. And I'm like, this is the introduction. Put it at the end if you want to spoil the book. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like
especially
almost
classics.
Yes, they do. I've noticed it where they have some like very highly respected author now kind of look back at something that like was foundational to them, and they're like giving you like this synopsis of like why this book is so important and how it affected them, and it's like this would be great after I've read this. Thank you.
Yeah, he spoiled Pet Sematary in one of his introductions as well.
Immediately.
Like, you would think they'd be like, well, maybe like for Pet Sematary, I guess there's at least maybe this argument of like it's such a culturally normative story at this point. Everyone kind of knows what happens to some extent.
I know nothing about it.
Okay, interesting.
You should read that book. It's really good.
Have you ever run across
a Pet Sematary movie once?
Oh, they're all bad. It was Shelf Esteem. It was Shelf Esteem that said today that he's never read The Green Mile or seen the movie, and then he described what he thought it was about. And I've never heard someone know so little about such a culturally like normative story that he like kind of got it wrong. And it was so like I wish I could have experienced The Green Mile like that for the first time. Right? Like he was like, yeah, it's about like a guy who's like in prison, and I was like, he knows nothing. This is all like he's gonna.
I'm jealous. Yeah,
dude,
I also know nothing about Green Mile. I just had to look it up.
Where have you been?
We grew up in different cultures, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
It's hard to remember that I'm in the generation where like TNT 4:00 movies were just like the thing, right? And that was one of those movies that I don't even think I saw it all the way through the first time. It was like I saw like 30 minutes of it every time I put on TNT until I finished it, you know? And you guys just don't know what that feels like because you live in the streaming generation. So, yeah. All right. Well, any more comments on Tom's soapbox rant about people spoiling books, especially at galas, about Sun Eater?
It's a very specific situation that I'm sure everyone has experienced.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Who did I say was next? I believe it was you two. Starting with Tabitha. Tabitha, the soapbox is yours.
Excellent. So mine is also on the same vein of the Sun Eater Gala and the Jay Kristoff signing that we went to. And it's just get out there. Go to your local author events if you have local author events at your half price books or your library. Sometimes libraries will do book clubs.
Mhm.
A huge part of reading is connecting to other people, even if you are like literally just reading it, but being able to talk to people and get other people's opinions on books is just so nice. And book people are fantastic people. So there's not a single person that we met this weekend that was like a bore to be around. Everyone was so cool. So I just want to encourage people to get out there, meet book people. That's
Amen.
That's the thing.
I love it. I love it. Real quick before we dive more into that, what is this about, guys?
No comment. Next. Love you, Katie.
Yeah. I would love to see more stuff like that around our area. That's probably the hardest part for like people in my area. It just doesn't happen much.
It seems from what I've gathered listening to authors talk and stuff, these like book tour things used to be like so much more prevalent, and now they're just like they just don't happen anymore, which is so sad.
Made it
I'm
different.
sure it seems like that would be an answer for everything, but also like I bet it's kind of expensive to like fly an author around, put them in a hotel in 8 different cities across the world for a month at a time. But like I'm sure COVID definitely didn't help. But it is sad that like I don't know, especially if you live in like a major metropolitan area. Like it seems like from the outside looking in that like 25 years ago, it wouldn't be that weird to like go to an author event or something. So, also I bet the Amazonification of everything doesn't help with that either. Your local bookstore isn't able to book a regional selling author the way that they probably did in the past, which is sad.
Yeah, I heard, I think it was Mike say this past weekend that if it's like a bigger box bookstore and they are, say Chris Ferracchio reaches out to the Barnes and Noble in Richmond, that a lot of times it'll just get run by like one of the staff members who may not even like know who he is, right? And they just kind of like, Jimmy, you come up with 10 questions and like put him at a table, right? And so like, you can imagine even as an author, you start to ask yourself, okay, in an age of technology, is that worth it? Right? Because like Chris Ferracchio can just hit live. He can just go live and he can be in front of a ton of people in an age where like that's just as valued for the most part as being in person to a lot of especially younger people. And so the value ratio has got to be an interesting question in terms of like what are we accomplishing for the money we're putting in. And that's kind of a bummer because like you said, Tabitha, it was so worth it. And I will definitely be more cognizant of looking around in the future for opportunities like that. Like me and Riggs were thinking about going to the Jay Kristoff one and we didn't hop on it fast enough. If that happens again, I'll probably, not kind of drag my feet and miss the tickets. It sold out really fast. He was being interviewed by the lead singer from Lamb of God, who's from Richmond. So it like really quickly. And so I definitely agree with you. Before this, I was still like interested in stuff like that, but I think after it, every opportunity to do something like that, I think you got to take advantage of for sure. How does your cat feel about it?
She feels a lot of things, apparently.
She feels she wants attention.
Yeah.
I think that it's possible that because of the success of the Sun Eater Gala, that other authors will also feel inspired to do events like that and to like maybe there's like the coverage of everyone's channels saying, hey, this event was so awesome. Other authors are definitely friends of people with these channels and are probably going to go, hey, maybe I should go and do an event like this and bring people together, So I hope that it's a like turning point for authors to go, hey, you know what? I'm an author. I can do that. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah. And I think too, like when you get to the end of a book 7 in a series like Sun Eater, that's like it's an easy sell, I think, especially since he just stayed home, right? I mean, it was down the street from his house, but people came. And I think that proves at least, I think, to probably a decent amount of authors who are around that same relative size, that like you can just show up with a decent plan and some preparation and some like online presence, and make sure you get a couple, good creators on your team to get the noise going, and I think it'll be successful. Did he like make a bunch more money because of this event? Probably not, right? But I guarantee you, in the long run, like the connections made and just the growth of how we feel as a community about him, I think will prove well worth it. Just on top of celebrating it, right? And at the end of the day, that's the tough part. Is we want to weigh the experience side, and for a lot of these authors, they do have to weigh the money because. Someone told me, that was a Chance that told me the other day that one of we were at breakfast and he said that one of the audiobook options that he had reached out to wanted $30,000 for book one, right? Like
from him?
Yeah, like to do
it?
the book, to do the book. Yeah.
Jeez.
And so like if you're an author and like you're really considering, especially if you're self-published, you're considering that. Every penny probably counts, and like a 10 Barnes and Noble run to sit at a desk for 5 hours and talk to some girl who's never read your book might not be worth it, right? So like we don't really want to consider that as much because like Christopher Rocchio obviously didn't do the gala to get more money, but especially if you're going to go away from home, it's got to be a consideration. Like, is it worth it when I can just go live on YouTube 5 times? Or go on 5 different people's channels, right? Hit up Mike and hit up John and hit up some, and maybe accomplish even more in terms of reach. So, but man, it was a great time. I totally agree with you. I want to do more stuff like that, and everyone should have to come to us every time that we do stuff like that.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's more cool people in this area, right? Ratio wise,
That's what you're going with. Okay, I see.
Yeah, we got Riggs, we got Jay, we got Talking Story, we got everybody else that's in this chat, right? I mean, it's
everybody.
East Coast, Best Coast.
East Coast, Best Coast for sure.
Yeah. Good. Did somebody just die in the background of somebody's?
Just some slamming back there.
That was a door. Don't worry about it.
No, okay.
You heard nothing.
Anything else anybody wants to say about how everybody needs to be going to author stuff?
No, I think it's just great. To be able to support authors and then to be able to just meet people from the community. Like when we went to Jay Kristoff's thing here in Dallas a few weeks ago, like just meeting people locally was super cool. And like I met a gal in line who was like, "Oh, there's Mike," because he was hosting that event. And then we were talking and we talked about Sun Eater and that gala coming up and stuff. And so it's just cool to find more book people in your area too.
Yeah. And it can literally even just be a book club at your library. Anything that connects you with other book people.
Yeah, 100%. And I think too that it's funny because I was laughing to myself the first night. We're all hanging out outside the bar, and if anybody who was in our sphere walked by, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's Mike and it's John." It's like these people, but everybody at the bar was like, "Who are these people that are?
Why are these people so loud?
What are they talking about?
Why are there so many of them?
They here?" We tried to roll into a literal wedding after party.
You didn't accidentally walk in, did you?
Yeah.
No, I did not walk in.
Because Chance and I did, and I don't think the staff was very happy.
Yeah,
with us.
like no, guys.
I mean, there was a giant private event sign.
Well, it was hilarious because this is I had my jacket on and everything still, so like I definitely could have just I definitely could have been like
They're like, "Oh yes,
wedding.
Mr. Orange." So.
Yeah, exactly. But
and I mean, and we had the priest there and me. We could have been like, "Does anybody else need to get married?"
Chance and I closed down that second bar or the third bar with that priest. We were at that bar until like Chance. What was it, like 2:20 or something before we were like, "We gotta go, dude."
That's crazy.
That priest was down.
That's wild. That's wild. But great time for sure. And I do agree. I think in-person opportunities to do stuff like that just hit different. While I love that technology has given us this opportunity to promote people and build relationships, and that's so cool. I think having a couple touchstone times in your year where you get to say I went and met this person, or I went and hung out with these people in real life. I think it keeps us sane. I don't think we're meant to be online all the time, unfortunately. So Chance says almost 2:30.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We were getting after it.
Guys, okay, just we're sitting there. This priest is drinking, and then there's a beer that somebody left on the bar. And he's like, "Is that yours?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, it's fine now." And he drank this random beer that was just
That's hilarious.
on
That's
the bar.
wild.
Dude, those fries were
Wow.
super good.
The fries? Oh, did you guys get some chicken and some fries?
Yeah, we came back in and got chicken and fries and another
Jeez.
beer, and those fries were like my kind of fries. So
All I know is the first place we went that we decided to not actually go to. I don't know.
Arcade.
Yeah, the barcade was not our vibe. The barcade.
I don't think there was room for all the people that showed up.
It was not the call. That's for sure. Oh gosh, I think this is Carson. Yeah, Carson says, "All right, ladies and gents, must take my leave. How many books are you reading, Carson? Every time I look, you're reading a different book. Dead House Gates is calling my name. Love the live format. Would definitely be back for more episodes. Is that the problem? Oh, we're not doing that. Never mind. We're gonna keep that one to ourselves. Commissioning art with that team. Oh gosh, awesome. Well,
Oh man.
that means that we have one more soapbox before we take our soapbox intermission for our user question, and it is now Sherilyn's turn. Jump up on the
Hello.
soapbox.
I
What do
would love
you want to
to.
rant about?
All right. My rant. I'm actually don't hate me, preacher. I'm actually
no.
borrowing my rant from Jay Kristoff because he posted something this morning that I was like, yes. And it was from his book tour, actually, something that he talked about. To condense what he said was that I think it's super important and necessary, particularly as a creative, but just in general as people, to give ourselves time and give our brains space to be bored, to disconnect from all of the noise, from all of the chaos, to get off our phones, get off whatever is taking up all of our time and energy, and just be quiet and just let our brains wander, because it's in those moments where we're able to actually think and ideas are able to formulate and come to the surface and grow into more. And especially as creatives, it's in those quiet moments where the stuff that's maybe been simmering in the back burner is able to come forward and really coalesce into like an idea that you can do something with. And yes, Chance, put your phone down. Get out of here.
Everybody leave. Everybody leave.
Everyone jump off right now. It's here we are, online, and I'm telling everyone to get off after the episode.
After the episode. Yeah.
No, but that it's in those quiet moments when and after he mentioned this, he was saying that he always noticed that he would get the best ideas in the shower. And he was like, maybe there's something, magical about the shower. And then he finally realized that's the only time he's not on his phone. And then I was thinking, that's like great ideas always just spring to the surface in the shower, right before bed, when I'm driving and not listening to anything. And it's because those are the only times I give myself time to just be quiet and let my brain just do whatever it has to do. And so having that reminder of just get off, even if it's for just a few minutes at a time, really lean into that quiet, that stillness, and just I didn't have an ending, and then I was like, the quiet, just lean into it. There we go.
That was almost as awkward as the ending of a Chance Dillon YouTube video, that's for sure. Somehow it has just turned into everybody in the chat just quoting from Sun Eater, right? Just tons of Sun Eater quotes. But no, I actually totally agree with you. There's one of my favorite nonfiction books of all time is called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. And it is a lot of it has to do with not just being on our phones and stuff, but the hurry of life and how the busyness that we actually feel in the moment is helpful to us, but it's actually the opposite, right? That we kind of like we drown out the problems of life with noise, but it actually causes those problems to exacerbate, and we never deal with them, and we never grow, we never learn because we're just constantly inundated. Heck, I even watch YouTube videos in the shower. So
I was gonna say
do
that's
too.
I'm so
Yeah.
chronically online. I have a little box that I bought off Amazon that I can put my phone in the
Oh.
shower.
I just listened to it.
So
JC and Burns said people often get their best ideas while doing cardio. That must be why I have no good ideas.
I was gonna say if I'm doing cardio, I'm just trying not to die the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
I will
was just
say-
thinking, what kind of cardio?
Somebody's
Sorry.
phone is vibrating.
Somebody's getting a phone call.
I will say, just to add on to that, I also find that like going out into nature and disconnecting is even better than just like, obviously like being away from it is also all can be very. Oh my.
You're
That's
so
totally.
He's not one of us.
When like obviously being away from it in general can be very nice, but I've also just found like when I do go out into nature is very nice. Or just a lot of times even just when I'm on my motorcycle riding around out away from everything, and like the only thing that you're concentrating on is like not dying, because riding a motorcycle is incredibly stupid and I don't recommend anybody does it. It is the dumbest thing you can do. Like I feel that. So
Is your motorcycle jacket orange?
Is your
People need to
motorcycle
know.
orange?
no, unfortunately it's not. And the worst part is the year
Fake orange
the-
fan?
I know the model year that I got has an orange tank, but
And
I
you didn't
couldn't.
get it?
No, because it's not the special. So I got the special one.
Okay, well,
And,
can you
the
get
The
it
special one
wrapped?
is the orange one.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You didn't want to just put a bunch of orange stickers on it?
Poor
Come on, dude.
choice.
You're right. I'm
You
slacking.
have options.
I'm
You
slacking.
have
You're
a whole
right.
closet of orange. Just,
Commit.
make a flag.
Harder.
Yeah.
Your entire life should be orange.
Dye the mustache orange at this point.
Outside of my
Oh
house.
wow,
you know?
that would be crazy.
Oh
But
my
I
gosh, you would look
definitely,
like the Lorax.
I love it. Dude. I love it. I love it.
Dye it like a light yellow.
What would Sam wants to know?
Thorax.
Are you out on your motorcycle thinking to yourself, what would James Bond do? And the
Um,
answer is something slightly racist.
I was gonna say it's just like thinking of all the slurs James Bond would use.
Oh man, that's awful.
Because they were written before the world went woke, you know?
God. Stop. Oh boy.
One of my
Does any-
favorite
Do any
comments.
of you guys have do you guys have a place that like it's easier for you to disconnect? So like for me it's the lake. Like I find it just easier to put my phone down at the lake. It's easier for me to like not need to be locked in to my phone just in case someone calls for work. And it's like a little difficult for me because both of my big boy jobs are basically on call 24/7 in terms of the phone. So like I can't just be like, sorry, it's not 8 to 5. I can't answer the phone right now for either of those jobs. So there's that like extra sense of anxiety that I'm going to miss a call that's important, right? But for me, the lake is that place where just for some reason it's just easier for me to be like, nope, I'm enjoying this right now. Do you guys have any place like that?
Not like locally. Anytime I go to the mountains, yes. But around home, not presently. Like my current house I'm renting, and like our backyard is just all dirt. And and the dogs are always trying to get all of my attention. And I can't leave them alone because they're crackheads. So so I don't really like get alone time regardless. I love to sit outside when I can, but it's I don't really have a go-to at the moment.
I have noticed when I travel, I'm much better about it. So like even at the gala, I looked at my screen time on my phone and it was like so significantly down. It was actually kind of
Oh my
crazy
gosh, yes.
to the point where like I was dumb and didn't even take a picture with Christopher Rocchio. Like that's how
Also
little.
did it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
I have like 5 photos of us.
I was gonna say I didn't
And
take
that's
any
it.
pictures. Actually, I had to steal them all from the Discord because I legitimately did not take any. And I also can just remember when I was in Ireland recently.
It's from their only pause.
Their only pause. Oh my gosh. But yeah, when I was traveling in Ireland, like I think it makes it easy that we were like out doing stuff. So it's like, why am I going to be on my phone? I'm in this beautiful place doing things.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just what happens when you're traveling, because like you have this goal of like doing something else than your like normal mundane day to day.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say definitely when I'm with someone, if I'm spending time with my husband, if I'm spending time with my family or friends, I don't like being on my phone because I find it disrespectful, because I want to actually interact and like just spend that time and just be happy in the moment. I've also started doing that with my cats as well. Maybe that sounds a little weird, but like I realize like I'm watching a YouTube video and I'm playing with my cat and I'm like, listen, my cat's not going to live forever. I want to cherish this time that I have with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, stop watching the, like, whatever video I'm watching and just spend time with, like, the people and the animals that are near me, because I think cutting off all the noise and spending time with, like, animals and people is very, very helpful for your mental health, too. Because, like, when I was in the Marine Corps, we did, I forgot the word for it, but we did therapy with horses, where we got to take care of horses that also went through something. Yeah. And so we got to learn how to like feed them and brush them and like hang out with them and things like that. So doing things like that, or for me also driving, I'm able to like cut off everything and just be able to like think things out. And I definitely agree that if you cut off all the music and the noise, you're able to actually like process the things that are going on throughout the day or things that happened a couple days ago. And you want to keep the noise on because you're like, oh, I may not want to think about this thing, or everything is stressing me out right now, but it does hurt more than it helps. But it's hard to get out of that cycle for sure.
My dog just barked really loud. If you guys were wondering what that was.
I wondered whose dog that was.
I think he needs to go pee. You want to say hi? Come here, buddy.
Yes. Yeah. Say hi.
This is a pet-free household over here, so.
How dare you?
Lame. On the smallest little
you can't even see him
screen.
because he's so black.
It looks like you are holding some. I don't even know what.
The void.
Here's my
And
shadow.
you're so
got the
small.
void with him.
Looks like
And
you're
you're tiny.
conjuring a dark
your screen
spirit.
bigger.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
yourself
bigger.
the big one.
He's still
Yeah, no,
That did not really help.
It's just your face.
Looks like you're wrestling a dark spirit or something. Like this is.
Yes. He's fighting the demons.
He's a big boy, so he's a big boy. Yeah. I mean,
I saw his tongue.
He's bordering on like 100 pounds. So, yeah. Oh goodness gracious! I had something really important to say, and now I've already forgotten it. I remember what it was. John Mark Comer, the guy I was mentioning earlier, he takes a month a year, which this is not what normal people can do, right? This is one of those things that, like, you ever heard like a self-help person say, like, well, this is what I do. And you're like, yeah, that's not doable.
But I can't.
He takes a month a year where him and his entire family go to a house in Colorado and they leave their phones. And the only way you can get in touch with them is if you call the designated person in the town that he has given he gave like just his mom their number. And so like if somebody dies in the family, they have to call Jimmy from the corner store, who then drives up to the cabin and then tells them that it happened, right?
You know,
that's how disconnected he is. And he writes a book a year. And he writes he plans all of his stuff out, and his whole family is disconnected. His kids have no games, they have nothing. And they do that like a month a year. And I'm like, how wild would that be? One, I would die. Two,
I've read The Shining. I know how that ends.
It was a little bit more forced. Hey, you just spoiled it. Okay. Just kidding. But that could be cool. It could be cool. And so, yeah, I definitely agree that like I would like to be more intentional about finding time for stuff like that, especially when it comes to reading. Like I can't imagine like what would it feel like take Shadows Upon Time and just spend 5 hours disconnected from the world and just pour through it. And some people have the ability to do that, and like kudos to them. But I read like 4 pages and I'm like, hold on 1 second. All right, we're good.
That's been me like this past couple months with reading in general. Yeah, that's been
my limit's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Anything once I start to get, I've noticed once I start to get past like especially if I'm physically reading. once I start to hit that like 3 hour, it's not even that I need to stop reading. It's like I need like a shift of something. It's just like too much at once of the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what any of these. I know what this comment is about, but
We
what
know
is
exactly.
happening in the rest of these comments? I don't.
Because Tom doesn't
I-
have a dog.
I don't have any pets
Oh,
in my
what is-
house.
What is
Yeah,
this? Can
but-
someone decipher this one for me?
Double
And
bed.
I
Is
got
that
nothing.
A Bond reference?
I don't know. Chance stopped being
Oh, yeah.
disconnected to tune into the Bookstreet Boys podcast. So
And that's where you went wrong.
I can't believe he's awake. We must have messed
That-
him up at the gala.
no,
Yeah.
It's, way past his
it's-
bedtime.
It's Friday. He says that he stays awake on
He's
Fridays.
getting lit.
Yeah, he says he stays
Ah.
awake on Fridays.
Till a
Tuesday.
late 9 p.m.
Speaking of crack addictions, who is drinking an Alani at 9 p.m.?
It's
I
8
was just
p.m.
drinking my coffee.
What's an
y'all.
Alani?
We'll also
That's a
we still
200
have,
milligrams of
things to
caffeine
film
energy
after
drink.
this.
We have so much filming to do.
Yeah,
This is the start of our party.
yeah.
We're
My
the,
whole-
We filmed
We're the
something before
pregame?
this, we're doing this, and then we have 3 more things to do.
Wow.
It's the night is
Love it.
young, my
I
friends.
love it. All right, well, cool. Because this podcast is going to be 5 hours. So
Okay.
Let's go.
It's gonna be 8
She's
hours.
Till 4 a.m.
Like a
before.
certain
Yeah,
author's
read that, okay?
dream.
Please don't actually. I
I'm kidding.
died that week.
it'd be a blast. What are you talking? Did you guys see that the Sun Eater podcast, the Sun Eater video,
All
the
day.
live stream was 8 hours and 30 minutes long. The one
All
that he did,
day.
one that he did on Tuesday.
I did.
Oh,
And some people watched the whole thing. They're like, I tuned in front to back, and I was like, I don't know if I should clap for that or tell you to go get some help.
Were you
That's
present?
that's
the whole
that's
time?
dedication.
That's crazy.
Max says, greetings and salutations. Look like you had a great time at the Sun Eater Gala. We'll get to Disquiet Gods and Shadows Upon Time in Q1 2026. Oh,
Disquiet Gods is
So-
my favorite.
Disquiet
the
Gods is
ghosts
the
right
best.
there.
So Disquiet Gods is just the best. You know, and that's just a fact. I don't know what this is about. Oh.
Well, with rigs, it could be anything.
That is very true. That is very true. Okay, it is time. If we have nothing else to say about disconnecting, we need to get back to this online podcast.
Get back
this
connected.
online podcast.
Chronically online.
I know.
Boys.
All right, so we are back. We are out of the soapbox. It is time for a user question. And this user is me because I decided I wanted to do this question before any other users gave questions. So we've got user questions now. For further episodes, for future episodes in season 2, if you would like a user question to be introduced and asked, drop into the comments of this YouTube video, not the live comments, but the regular comments so that I can actually keep track of them. And we will try to get it onto the channel for a future episode. But
If you send me $10, it will happen.
yes, definitely. any money attached means a higher chance that you get the user question actually used. So the question is very simple. What is the next big series to blow up in 2026? Okay, so I'll start this one. And I'm going to start by clarifying because I can and giving multiple answers because I can. And so what I would like to say is I think the answer to this question has to take into account a couple different things, right? Why did Sun Eater blow up the way that it did? Okay, 1, the series was ongoing. 2, the man writes like a madman. So there was just a new book every chance somebody turned around. There was just a new book, right? 3, quality, of course. And then 4, online. They're like using streamers and YouTubers and social media in a way that like helps to prop that book up. So I think if you can do all 4 of those things, you can be the next series to blow up, right? And so the first one I'm going to talk about is one that is already decently sized, but I think can move into Sun Eater territory in 2026. So I looked it up. This book has half the reviews and half the ratings on Goodreads as Sun Eater. So book 1 of Sun Eater has double the ratings of this book 1. And I think that this next year is the year, and it's going to be
Yes.
I think
Good.
that-
Kyle. It's
Yeah.
going to be the year.
I think we're all thinking that.
We
one.
all have that on our list.
Yes.
Gosh darn it.
I did not have it on my list.
Let's go.
I have another
I have
option.
it on my list.
but
Okay,
I have
like,
other options.
That was
too.
I
the
have
only
multiple
one I
books.
thought of.
I have multiple books, but like
Plus, it has the new one
Was that? Dude,
Yes.
and the new one, right?
It's re-releasing,
beautiful.
but
I
The
want you
other-
to know that all of the criteria you mentioned is what I took into account, and that's the book I came up with.
Let's go.
So,
Yeah.
Everybody
Same-
follows the
same
Broken
wavelength.
Binding, right? And so now the Broken Binding is going to be putting out these new covers that are gorgeous.
yes.
Everyone's going to see it all the time on social media. People already know of the series. I think that like the ratings, I think the same amount of people know about Sun Eater that know about Cahill, but I don't think that those half that haven't read it yet just like haven't felt that pressure. Like me, I own multiple of them, just haven't started it yet, right? I think that 2026 is a year that everybody goes, okay, I'm going to read this. And from what I've heard, it's really, really good. And so I think it checks all the boxes. And I think by the time the last book comes out, which I think comes out next year, if I remember correctly, it's going to be the book that makes that big jump, especially since he writes so fast. He posted the other day an apology because he took like 2 weeks off from writing. And he was like sincere. He was like, guys, I'm sorry, I just haven't written. I'm like, dude, you have dropped 1,000-page book like the last 3 years.
He
Like,
writes offensively long books. That's what I keep saying about like his newest book is like it's so long that they should like start using it as like building material or something. Like,
yeah. It's well, I mean, I think he just does whatever he wants, right?
oh, he
Which
does.
is fantastic. But I thought it was hilarious that he decided that he was going to apologize when he puts out a book a year and a novella, and these other people aren't putting out, one book every 10 to 15 years. So I think this is the obvious one for me. I do have another one, and I do think that it hits all the criteria. Book 2 comes out in May.
He's about
book
to steal
one-
it. He's about to steal it.
What?
What you're about to say,
No.
I have a feeling you're about to steal it from me.
No. Book 1 came out this year. Book 2 comes out in May. And I think that he's probably going to do book a year, which is perfect. I think that it is well marketed because he's attached himself to a smaller like press that is doing a really good job of utilizing social media. And it's just a really, really good book. And I can't wait for book 2. And that is Ironbound.
Yep.
By Andrew Givler is this series. I think this series is going to pop off. I don't think it'll quite get to Rockio levels. It helps that this guy has a huge Minecraft channel on YouTube. So he's a giant Minecraft YouTuber. I think that will help as well. Just he knows how to use social media. He knows how to market. He's just connected himself with Athon Books, and they do a really good job on Instagram. That's how I found out about this book. He seems to be sending these books to people pretty easily. So if you want one, just message them on Instagram. That's how I got mine. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Book 1 was great. Book 2, I've heard, is even better. So he's buddies with Two to Ramble. They have they beta read this book, and they've already read book 2, or at least Richard has. And he said book 2 blows this one out of the water. And I thought that this one was like really, really good. So pretty stoked about it. I think this one's going to be a book that really, really jumps into the next level next year.
That cover is really nice too.
The cover is gorgeous.
Stunning.
And the cover for book 2 is also gorgeous. So it's already out. But yeah, so that's mine.
Like colors like that on fantasy books, like those light pinks and purples.
Yeah.
Like it stands out.
Gonna pass it on now to Tom. Tom, I know I already took one of them.
Yeah.
What else do you got for me?
Okay, so I have a couple that I'll go ahead and throw out. I think this one doesn't exactly fit into the category because I think it's already like super, super big, but I feel like it could ascend in kind of a major way even more. And it's going to be Red Rising, which, like I said, I feel like it's already kind of at like a super high level, but I feel like when, Red God or whatever comes out, I feel like, yeah, exactly. I think it'll have those same kind of things. Long running series that has a lot of hype around it. It definitely has a strong online presence. I think it could do it, especially because Red God has been pushed back again and again. So like, I think the hype and the excitement for that, like people really, really want it at this point. So I think that, that's definitely one that could do it.
Yeah, I don't like Red Rising at all. Hold on one second. I don't like Red Rising at all.
We can't see it.
Can't see
Oh,
it.
there we go.
It's darkness.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen with Red Rising is that all the people who've read the first trilogy but haven't started the second set are going to finally read it once Red God comes out.
Yeah, I
I
think
think-
there's probably a lot of people
Plan.
who are kind of like me, who's like, well, I caught up on Sun Eater. Maybe now this is the series I go catch up on because it's going to
Yeah.
have probably another big. I'm assuming it's going to have a big release for sure.
Oh, it's going to be gigantic. Well,
Yeah.
he has mentioned that the publisher has begun to tell him he may have to do 2 books.
I have
because
heard
it's
that.
too big. It's too, and I'm like,
I think
no.
actually you're the one who told me that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which I
so-
mean, if that's
Why
what
are
ends
you
up happening,
not in favor
you
of
know.
that?
I just wish that he could just print one giant book. Like not like so if it's one book that's done and they're gonna make him like pull half of it out and then the other half out
Mhm.
later.
Just because
Which
it's
means-
so giant.
Yeah, it's too big to bind in like a traditional. And
Um,
Ryan Cahill says, "No,
He
I-
goes through that problem a lot. I've watched a lot of interviews with Ryan Cahill.
Oh.
Still haven't
Mhm.
read any of his books, but like love his interview presence. Like he seems like a really nice guy, but he's always talking about, yeah, my printer only like can print so many pages. So
And then I do have 2 more that I'm just going to throw out. These are maybe more of ones that I would like to see it happen to
Mhm.
than like they're actually going to happen to. Got to shout out our good friend Chance Dillon.
Chance Dillon."
How
hey.
How awesome would that be? I think, especially with how good book 1 is, and I'm assuming book 2 is going to be good. You know, that can start to build. I think obviously it hurts that it's not the end of a series; it's the halfway point kind of for his books. But you know, got to shout out our friends, and that also is going to include Discovery from
Yes.
Talking
Hmm.
Story. You know, it fits some of those categories. Online presence and all that stuff can definitely be helpful. And I'm assuming, you know,
Mhm.
they're both kind of plugged into these ecosystems where they've seen some of these events happen and everything. That you know, I'm sure it puts ideas in these authors' heads of like things that they could do
Yeah.
if they had the
Mhm.
ability.
Yeah. No, and chances they both have, audiobooks will probably release next year.
Yeah.
I think
I
I
think that'll
think
be big.
That helps.
I think the
That'd be
Mintons
interesting.
have essentially like locked that down.
Yeah, I
day
think
one.
so. I think
Mhm.
they were just talking about they're going to have a live
Isn't it in
stream or something
December?
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, December 9th,
in
the first one
December.
comes out.
Yeah.
So
So
that's pretty dope. So yeah, I mean, I think that they're checking a lot of those boxes as well. I think that the jump for Red Rising will be that people will finish the series that have started it, and that also like Briggs said, the TikTokers will really catch on, and it'll become like an ACOTAR level series. Which it's interesting to think about like what's big and what's not big. I would assume that Red Rising has like a fraction of the ratings on Goodreads as like ACOTAR does.
Sounds
Even
good.
though
It's
to us,
pretty
I thought it was a lot
popular
bigger
already,
than that.
though.
even though to us it probably feels similar, I would guess.
yeah, it's
I
very
would
easy to
think
get into our own
Akatar is
bubbles.
much bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Red
Like-
Rising has 725,000 ratings on here.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's
Court
way more
of
than I thought, actually.
Thorns.
Because it's all over. It's all over TikTok.
Yeah,
and
but
Is it?
ACOTAR has
Instagram.
4 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be-
Romantasy is like
That's
Because
crazy.
Very
romance,
different market.
it's because romance is a bigger genre than
Right.
fantasy and sci-fi. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I've started to see some Instagram reels and TikToks that are like, well, Red Rising's got some romance. So I mean, as soon as that, it's
Well, it probably helps. Never mind. Can't say that.
I think
Maud
there
is-
are a lot of romantasy readers turning toward more
Yeah.
traditional fantasy,
Yeah.
and sci-fi. So
Mhm.
that's a lot of that market is starting to bleed over.
Yeah. I think what
And-
Tom was going to say was that it helps that Pierce Brown is absolutely smoking attractive.
Yeah,
That was
one of our
close,
friends bought the book because of his author photo,
but it was going to
and
be
then
a
also
little.
loved the book.
It was going to be a little bit worse than that. We can talk about. I'll tell you guys when we're done recording. Don't worry.
Oh, goodness
intrigued.
gracious. I know what it's about, but that's okay.
I know. Yeah, I think you're putting the pieces together. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I could see that one making a pretty good jump. Chance Dillon says, "Hi guys, we're hot," and he would know.
yeah. You need to put your author photo on the outside of the book,
Yeah, I like
so
that.
the book talk girlies will
It's
buy
just
it.
the
It's
cover.
just the
Just the
cover.
cover.
Yeah.
Do the
Oh,
Stephen
pull a
King treatment.
Yes, it's literally the entire back cover is
Is
just
that a character in the story, or is that the author? Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think those are good. I think those are good options, and I would love to see some of those fantastic book ones from some of our buddies just like sprout, and book 2 just just take them to the next level. That'll be so awesome. And it happens so quick. That's the thing, right? Like
With
I think-
social media, it's
Yeah.
weird.
I think Mike said that his first mention of Sun Eater on his channel, it had 10 ratings on Goodreads.
Mhm.
Like that's crazy. 10 ratings, and now look where it is. So
Yeah.
totally agree. Noelle, do you have one that hasn't been mentioned yet? Let's
I
go.
do. I was going to mention Red God though, for sure, because it fits in like the same line as Sun Eater. It's the
Yeah.
final
Mhm.
book, supposed to be anyway. Got a big following already. I think people are going to continue to pick up the series as the time gets closer to the final book coming out. I think when final books come out, that people are like, "Oh, the series is done. I should have been on
Yeah.
this the whole time." And I think that it just has such a big following already. Another one kind of similar that I think is also going to continue to blow up is Dungeon Crawler Carl,
yeah.
because there's supposed to be a new book coming
That's
out
lovely.
next year as well. I would like to say Dresden Files because a new book either just came out or is supposed to come out.
January or
But I
February,
think that some of the
Mhm.
I think some of the beginning books will cause too many people to fall off. But I think I don't know. I just picked up the first book this year, so I don't know. Maybe more people will get on the Dresden's Files.
Just read books 2 and 3 back to back and don't sit on book 2 forever. I beg of thee.
Why is that?
Because book 2 is horrible.
It was fine.
It's,
was terrible.
It's
I
not
hated
good
It's
at all.
fine. It was. I don't know. I didn't dislike any of them, and none of them made me go like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever." It was just they were good. They were like episodes of Supernatural. They're just monster of the week. Just
Yeah. I really
slap
need
on
to
them.
read it because I think I would like it a lot.
Yeah, story wise, they're
Buddy read that I actually read the first book at the same time and not like 5 months later. Well, fun fact, Tom and I were supposed to be buddy reading Empire of Silence, and then I just like
Oops.
stopped reading
Nice.
altogether all of a sudden. So-
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, but round 2, Dresden Files.
Hey,
strange.
Drag her into
Still in
that.
front.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that with you.
I was like 50-50 on continuing the series after the 5th one, and then I looked at the back cover of the 6th one, and I saw corn shoot, and I was like, you know what, I could take a break. Book six is the someone's
Weirdly, it's
murdered.
like the least sexist of the books.
Is
though.
it really?
TBH, like,
That's wild.
and I'm not joking.
Sorry. She's like,
When you have to say that, that was actually the least sexist.
oddly enough.
It could be
Speaking of-
worse.
Speaking of another series that should absolutely just take off in 2026 is JCM Burns' Hybrid Helix series. Some of the coolest covers I've ever seen. Have you ever seen a cover where the superhero main character is fighting a giant bear? Because I have, and it's on one of his books. And so you guys should go check
those-
this out.
yeah.
Those are some of the coolest covers and
They are
sounding
super
books.
cool.
I've got book 1 on the shelf. It's happening in 2026 within the first couple of months for sure. But yeah, not to,
That's my
Not-
plan as well. Hopefully.
not to scratch the back of the guy in the chat or anything, but Chance, that is a lie. I don't know who told you this. That is a lie. Rick says it doesn't get pornographic. Promise. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. All right. Dungeon Crawler Carl is an interesting one because, like, it's already getting so big, but I do think it can take that next jump where, like, I already have kids that, like, I already have college students in my church who are like, hey, I heard about this book. Do you know what it is? And, like, they heard about it not from me. Right. And, like, whenever that's happening, I'm like, okay, that's taking off, and part of it is because
Yeah, I've seen
the covers are so sweet. Like, they're so bright, and you see them at the store, and you're like, that book is.
They
what
do
is
stand out. They
Yeah.
do stand out for
They
sure.
look
Yeah.
like fun.
I think Red Rising and Dungeon Crawler Carl sit more similarly in my mind than Sun Eater in terms of popularity, because I also watch other booktubers on other spheres, and even if they're reading like romance or whatever, they also may pick up Red Rising or also Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I think those have like gone outside of the realms of sci-fi and fantasy.
DCC book 1 has 175,000 ratings. So
Oh, so it could
That's
still
super
definitely get
impressive.
bigger then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel really big in this space,
Yeah.
but like I could see it going way higher for sure.
does.
Especially it seems like it's going to get an adaptation sooner than later. It already seems like it has.
That always
A couple-
helps.
Oh yeah.
It already,
Couple mediums too,
yeah, it's
right?
already in
Yeah.
so many. It really feels like sooner than later it's going to get something. It's the hot stuff right now. It seems like so.
Mhm.
It is the musical man himself is in the chat, guys.
What's up, man?
Musical man himself. Lightbringer sucks. Okay, can we talk about how freaking I'm blanking. Albert said that Lightbringer was the worst book in Red Rising. Okay, it's not soapbox time. Sorry. That made me so mad. I was about to fight a kid on a Friday night at a bar.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd say that.
Mm.
But all right, it's now Sherilyn's turn. What do you think is going to be the next book that blows up, the next series that becomes the big deal?
Really the big one that came to mind was Cahill's Bound and Broken. As far as like, it's larger, it's ongoing, it's fixing to wrap up. It's already gaining momentum, so it could easily slide into that spot. Dungeon Crawler I think is a really good one too. Any that are like still starting and maybe just book one and could maybe in a couple years get closer. I think The Failures was one, and that was really, really interesting, really neat, really different. And like I haven't read anything like it, and so it could, I think, depending on how it goes, I think it could jump into one of those sorts of spots.
Yeah.
But
I think the only thing he's got to do is get book 2 out decently quick.
yes,
Like,
yes,
you just get on that kind of 1.5 to 2 years minimum. I think that's like such a big part of this, right? It's like,
I agree.
if you make me wait 3 to 5 years, I don't know if the momentum's gonna.
Honestly, it almost
dies
feels
pretty
like
quick.
2 years is too much for like to really get into that like online part of it. It does feel like, man, once a year, which is hard. Like it feels like such a quick turnaround, especially for the length of some of these books. But
yeah, I don't know how some of these guys do it, but also like, yeah, I think if you're gonna do 2 years, you got to have like a novella in between, right?
That's
like
fair.
like Rob J. Hayes has the Herald series. It's a book and 2 novellas, and then he just randomly dropped another novella like this month that's in the world. So it's not in the mainline series, but it's in the world. And I still think he's going to get the next set of 3 out within the next year, right? So that's like a little less than 2 years, but you're essentially getting 3 books at time.
Wow.
Like that, that I think
lot of
allows you to
content.
keep that momentum, right? My
sure.
only worry about the Benjamin Lyer book is that every podcast I've listened to from him, he's been like, yeah, I'm writing and other stuff, a lot of other stuff. And I'm like, oh no, I need this book now, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Stop having friends in a life, Benjamin.
Stop disconnecting.
Stop getting offline.
Dude. He's like, yeah, I'm playing music with a band. I'm like, don't you stop it. Stop playing music with a band. Because that book was sweet.
That was kind of my hesitation on bringing it up. It's like, I don't actually know when book 2 is coming. But it's a really great idea, and I want to see more of it. But yeah, it's like, if you don't have that momentum, it dies pretty quick because there's so many things to be reading.
Yeah. Well, like we talk about the social media use, it feels like the cadence is like drop a book, and then it's the moment that initial wave of like talk about that book dies off. That's when you're like, and here's the next book's title.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the next book's cover art.
Talking.
Right.
Yes.
And then here's the book. Right. And if you can like keep that cadence of like, okay, the initial conversation, like Dungeon Crawler Carl, he just dropped the title and the cover for the next book. And we just got book 7 like less than a year ago. Right. And we're going to get book 8. And he's putting out a different series or standalone, another standalone that at least keeps his name in people's, mouths and stuff. And so, I mean, I think that's the cadence that seems to have to happen.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be tough. It's gonna be tough to do. Chance says The Failures is so good, and he is correct. It is, in my opinion, the most underhyped book on BookTube.
Oh, it's so fascinating.
People need to read it, but they won't.
I genuinely at the end was like, this doesn't give anything away. No, never mind. I won't say anything.
Oh, don't you spoil it.
That's why I decided not to.
Anybody finished Empire of the Dawn yet? I did.
Yes.
Not yet. Haven't even started it yet. Gotta finish Shadows
What's
Upon
he
Time
gonna
first.
do next? That's gonna be an interesting. Where does he go?
He's
next?
working on it.
Doesn't he have pirates in his next thing? Or am I
Pirates?
just making
Ooh,
something
that
up?
would be
I could
cool.
be totally making
Nope.
something
I
up.
don't remember.
You got to be right because that sounds awesome. So
Yeah,
I hope,
yeah,
It does
I'm
sound
just
awesome.
taking your word as gospel now.
Yeah.
Closed door pirates. I need the closed door. We got to close the door for this
He's
thing.
I
You know how to
think
flip
I think
pages?
his door is wide open.
I was gonna say he's busting that door
Closed
open.
door
What
pirate.
doors?
Yeah. And I think
Doors
this is
off the hinges.
This is an interesting point about why I think some people don't even start those series now.
No.
You know, and we can call it the Rothfuss effect or whatever, but they're just afraid that like they're gonna have to just sit and wait before the next book. And so it's like, okay, well, like The Failures is book 1. If I can at least see how long he takes for book 2 before I start, then I might get a good idea of his cadence. All right. And so if book 2 comes out in 4 years, then you're like, okay, it's a book every 4 years. I'm waiting. Right.
Yeah.
And a
You're
lot
gonna
of these
make
other
me
offers
change
have
my
just-
rant.
I'm gonna change.
You're gonna make me change my rant.
Change your
Do
rant.
it.
Scream at us. I don't. I'm scared now. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. Pirates from Kristoff, please. More nautical fantasy.
That
I
would
hope
be
I'm not a
so
liar.
fun.
If I'm a liar, I apologize.
I
We
Okay.
burn you
love
at the stake if
pirates.
you're a liar.
That's what I would do
love
as well.
Pirates.
I would do as well. All right, Tabitha. What do you
Yes.
think is the next big series to blow up?
So I also had Cahill. So I think we all
Mm.
agree that is
Yeah.
going to blow up next year.
Yes.
I also split it up like Tom did with the ones that I'm like more confident in and the ones that I want to. I only have 2. So the one that I think really will is Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I haven't read it yet, but the same premise of like jumping off of Sun Eater, now you want something else. And dude cranks out books. And he's
Crazy.
already gotten so much more love this year than I've seen in previous years. So I think that's just going to keep going, especially since people are so confident that he can crank them out. And he does them really well. So he cranks things out, but also edits them. So
Quality.
having that combination is really going to set him up for success.
Mhm.
And then the one that I hope takes off is going to be Richard Swan. So he already has Empire of the Wolf, and then now he's got that series that's like following up on it. And he's getting a little bit more hype, but he's still definitely underhyped. I think he could have a potential, but I'm less sure about that one.
Where is this chat gone, guys?
Pirates having parents.
That's a crazy thing to say.
I think this is a reference to one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
I'm just
it
gonna
is.
hope
It's
is.
also his favorite band. So
Oh, this is a you person?
Yes, this is
that's
her
my husband.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys see Bill Murray's new Bucky's shirt? It's a Bucky's shirt, but it
Yes.
says Bill Murray on it. I need it so bad. You guys want to buy me something for Christmas? Buy me the Bill Murray Bucky shirt. I do
Gonna
think
get
I
like
do think
32 of
Richard
them.
Swan is an interesting one. I would say just from being kind of an outsider on his stuff, I don't think he utilizes social media quite like some of these other guys do. Right? Like, does he do interviews on YouTube?
He did one with Talking Story for sure.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I think he should do some more stuff like that. He should get some people, screaming from the rooftops. Because I mean, people talk about it, that series for sure. I mean, there's a shark with lasers coming out of his eyes on the front of the cover or whatever. So I need that. You
Girl,
didn't know
you
that?
have seen this.
Shark with lasers?
Yes.
Which book?
We discussed
On the
this.
new one.
It sounds familiar now.
Graven
Read Empire?
My only
Okay,
curiosity with that series is I feel like the series had such a tonal shift that I wonder if that'll throw people off.
Yeah.
I
That's
know
all.
nothing about it.
And I haven't read it. This is secondhand from people who have read it, so you never know.
It's like an armored shark.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's like
was it the? Oh, it was on the inside.
Are there no lasers? Did I make lasers up?
I'm not saying. Oh, but I forgot the armored sharks, and they look so cool.
I'm sorry. I made
Hide your shame.
lasers. I made lasers up, guys. I'm so sorry.
You lied to us.
Okay. Well,
really
Justin
cool.
said that.
Burn
Doesn't
him.
look cool though.
Justin now says that the Jay Kristoff series is going to be World War II pirates in Japan on crack with daddy issues. So it's grown. It's grown from what you said.
The lore is evolving.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd read it.
I would too.
Anything that man writes,
Yep.
please.
Did
guys.
anybody hear this comment in The Voice from the movies? Knows what movies this is from?
It's from the spy movies.
From Austin Powers,
Austin
yeah.
Powers,
Freaking
yeah.
sharks,
Yeah.
laser beams.
Oh my gosh, I haven't watched
Yes.
Austin Powers in so long.
Don't go back. They do not hold up.
They do not.
They do not
They do
hold
not
up.
hold
They do
up,
not.
boys.
They do not.
They do not hold up. All right. Well, I think those are all great answers. I think every single one of those at least like came to mind when I thought of this question. But my real hope is that it's something none of us have even know about. How I
Oh,
think
that would
it
be
great,
so awesome.
right? Like
Yeah,
For
that'd be
something
really
just come
fun.
out of
Because,
left
like,
field, please.
I just remember the first time someone mentioned Sun Eater, right? And it being like, oh, that book sounds interesting. And like the covers are cool. And like, I don't know. I'm not really a huge sci-fi guy besides Red Rising. And then like fast forward 6 months and it's, probably one of the most important series in my reading journey. So I would love to have another just rando just pop up out of nowhere, or one of these like really consistent self-pub guys like hit it, like Rob J. Hayes or something, like really like just have something pop off at like a larger level because they're
That'd be
just so
awesome to see.
consistently putting really good stuff out.
Yes.
I mean, I know a lot of people like Rob J. Hayes's previous work, but like Harold is significantly under reviewed compared to his other stuff, and that book was so good. I don't know why it just hasn't gotten as much love, but yeah, I think those are some good options. But ultimately, I do think it's going to be whenever Red God comes out. I think that's the next one in our corner that becomes not in our corner, where it's just everybody's going to be like that Red Rising book, and you're gonna be like, oh, I was here before. It was cool, So awesome. Well, that means it is time to go back to our soapboxes. And it is time to put Noelle on the soapbox. Now, we don't know what she's going to talk about because she said she might change her mind. And so
She looks ready to fight.
I'm so
ready to scream at somebody. And somebody may be
I
me.
mean, so I guess we could say that both of them fit within the same realm, and it
Okay.
does have something to do with publishing. So my first one, I guess we'll just get into that. I see this a lot, especially on Instagram, that publishers and also some book reviewers will try to sell books just based on tropes. Like they'll have the book and they have little arrows coming out and they have tropes. And I hate that because you are reducing the book into nothingness. Like you are saying, here's this book. It's like telling me like, hey, read Lord of the Rings. Farm boy leaves home, MacGuffin. And I'm be like, that doesn't make me care. That doesn't make me want to read the book.
Mhm.
You're like taking the flavor out of selling a book, and just it feels so lazy. And I think focusing on tropes makes everything feel kind of samey and uninteresting because there are tropes. They are there because they're there so often. But I think we put too much focus on them. And I think if it's to the point where publishers are trying to sell the books just based on whatever trope it is, then publishers are going to choose authors that have those tropes in them just because it's selling because of the trope, not because it's a good emotional story, not because it's a good time, but because they can sell the trope, not the book. The other thing, as you guys were talking, was about authors. It feels like some people in the book community want authors to publish a book every year. And I think that's too frequent for a lot of authors because I don't think that should be the standard. I think it's great when authors can do it and they can do it well. But I always say that authors don't owe us anything. Artists don't owe us anything. If a painter puts out one painting every, 10 years or whatever, they may be less popular. But if it's like the best piece of art you've ever seen in your life, you'll appreciate that it's there and that they took so much time to do this art. And I think that we're losing that, and that book publishing is becoming a bit too, not to the point of fast fashion, but it's becoming too quick. It's becoming too, I need the next book in the series. I need the next thing from this author when there are so many other works we could be trying to branch out into. but people are kind of, I wouldn't even say it's the community. I would say it falls more on publishing, because publishers will make the authors, or at least try to make the authors, publish as quickly as they can. And I think sometimes as the community, we don't help out with that.
Mhm.
But yeah, Chance was saying that we're in this world with we have so much content to consume, and it's like, oh, give me the next new thing, where I'm very much the person who goes, well, what started it all? Like, what started epic fantasy? I want to see how it's evolved over time, and I think that will help us appreciate the genre more, and appreciate the art more, and see where it started, where it's at now, what was going on in the middle, So yeah, two kind of rants there.
Yeah, no, I think those do interconnect well. I think the toughest part about the tropes thing is like, there's a piece of me who may be a part of the problem, right? Where I like, if you tell me that it's a coming of age fantasy, or like if there's like 2 or 3 specific tropes, I'm like just gonna buy it, and so maybe I'm the problem. But I think like in a world where there are so many different books to buy, that can be helpful in kind of wading through what you want to read. But I do agree with you that like that shouldn't be the decision maker for who gets published and who doesn't. It shouldn't be the extent of the marketing, right? Like, I think there's more subtle ways to do it. Like, if you want to tell me the book is coming of age, like most coming of age books have similar titles, similar artwork, similar. Like, you don't have to just say this is X. Make it look like what it is influenced by in some way. And I think most people will catch it, right? Most people understand what a book is going for just by the back of the cover. And so I do think, especially in, like you talk about the Instagram graphics and stuff, where it's like, this is enemies to lovers, and it's this and it's that, right?
And they do it in bookstores now too.
I think the problem is, one, it's not always super accurate. I've seen ones that just aren't accurate, right? Where it's like, you go to read the book and you're like, what? Books, Beverages, and Besties told me that this was a dark academia, dude. It's not dark academia. I'm just kidding.
We qualified that statement. Thank you.
That's an inside joke from their last video. But I totally agree with you on that. And on the, then on the thing with the writing quickly, I think that's more of an interesting conversation within the self-published space, because I think it's the self-published space especially that has created the quicker timeline, for good or for bad, right? But like, I don't know many traditionally published authors who are just like, of the big ones, right, who are popping out a book a year, or even expected to. But I do think in like lit RPG, progression fantasy especially,
I was going to say the wandering in. Like,
it's just become kind of like the expectation. And some authors can do it with polish, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to if you're trying to break into that space. And I think we can passively like be a part of that problem if we're like, hey man, like your book just came out, but where's the next one? Like, come on, what's going on? So I would totally agree that like we should consider, man, what do we want? We want the best possible product, right? It's just like video games when people get mad about video game delays. It's like, well, if this game needs to be delayed, it should probably be delayed.
Please delay it, because let's talk about it. Avowed came out. It's not a finished freaking game. Why are the little creatures? Why is this game $70? The little creatures are moving at 30 FPS while everything else is in 120. Like, it's not a fleshed out game. The characters will talk and they go da 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 da, and it's like, what? Anyway, yeah.
No,
so I don't want
agree
your books
completely.
to turn into something like that. You don't want them to be reduced to just tropes. You don't want it to be like bland chicken reading, and you're like, oh, I bought it because it's chicken, but you didn't tell me it wasn't going to have any flavor. And
then you've got the weirdo freaks like JCM Berm, who's putting out 2 a year. Who's putting out 2 books a year about superhero, sci-fi, fantasy, awesome guys, and like none of the tropes, right? Just whatever the heck he wants to do. There's bears and there's like weird lizards and there's all kinds of stuff.
Beats Battlestar Galactica.
Right. Like, but I think that the interesting conversation kind of on the farther end of that is, does that bleed in? Does that eventually bleed into trad publish, where they're like, okay, well, like self-pub is becoming very popular, and it seems like one of the reasons why it's so popular is because of how quickly they get stuff. And so, man, do we need to start leaning into that harder? And we need to make sure that Naomi Novik is getting a book out every 7 months, right? That'd be interesting to pay attention to.
Yes, on that note, so something we noticed this so much in romantasy, and is a giant reason why we got so turned off to the genre, is because self-pub is so accessible, which is awesome. It does allow for people to kind of like skip out on quality, and like, so I mean, yeah, it's
and a lot of times publishers will pick up those books and then not give nearly enough edits because they already have the audience.
Yeah, it's like the audience has said, hey, we'll take it as it is, and publishers have said, oh cool, we can lower the bar. And then now like just because we have such a like high consumeristic culture, and because everyone, like, yes, the market drives what publishers want to put out, how they like where the money is going, they're willing to sacrifice quality. And that's a big part of that is readers not being willing to say, hey, take your time, like it's okay to wait and give us your best work, rather than just giving us something that like you could have spent more time on and you could have refined a little more, and then like we'll be here and we'll be here when it's ready. Instead, there's, especially it happened a lot in the romantasy market, that there's just so much happening that like you want to get your thing out as fast as possible so that like you don't miss out on the market. And I think that's what trad publishers hopped on, was it's like, well, we don't want to miss this opportunity to make money, so we're going to jump on this, and they're willing to buy it so we don't have to try so hard, and then it's just snowball effect.
It's a big problem with mixing art and money. That's always going to be an issue.
Yes.
But also I will argue against it not being in trad pub, because if you look at like the biggest authors, Colleen Hoover, Stephen King, Brandon Sanderson, they all smash out books. They are putting out books relentlessly. Even sometimes quicker than a year. So I think a lot of the they get heavily rewarded because people like their name is there. Their name is constantly in the spotlight, and they want to ride that wave as long as they can.
Yeah. I expect 2 Stephen King books a year, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's a little bit of an outlier, right? He's been doing that since before he was even huge. But I do think that it's starting to bleed in. One of the first that I noticed was when cozy fantasy became a thing. And then next thing I know, and I don't remember the author's name, and her books may be great, I just know all her covers look the same, and she's put out like 17 cozy fantasy books since like the first one like 3 years ago. And I'm like, how have you? Wow. And she wasn't even the first cozy fantasy writer, so it was like, okay, well, like this book got popular, and then trad publishing decided that they wanted to jump on it, and that's working. And then somehow this chick has now put out like 8 books in 2 years. And I'm just going, how is this? How are those books quality? They may be, but in my first opinion, my first thought when I see them is those must just be churned out, right? And they might not be, but I'm probably not even going to take a chance on them when I see that, right? When it seems like you're following a trend and you're also just pumping out books at a rate that are like, that's crazy. It just kind of screams money, and it may not be. But that's how I feel when I see it,
Yeah. I've just heard too many people go, I need this next book. And I hear it a lot in the romantasy community as well. Like, I hear that they're like, her book just came out or his book just came out. I need the next book immediately. And then here's the problem. Book comes out, and then not everybody is willing to admit that the quality is lower because it was clearly rushed.
Yeah.
But there are people in the community who are willing to talk about that. But I think that we definitely have to be more open with that, which I think we are. I just think that there are some people who will just go, oh, but at least they've got their next book out. And it's like, no, like, wouldn't you rather them take the time than you get an unfinished product?
Yeah, 100%. JCM Byrne said, the thing is, genre fiction has churned out formulaic books forever. The pulps pre-1960s were all that. It's not new. 100%.
That makes
100%.
sense.
I think that it's just an interesting conversation too, because it oftentimes just weaves in and out of different genres differently, right? And it's like for specific genres, this is becoming something. For other genres, it's been that way. For some genres, it's I have not once thought, well, Adrian Tchaikovsky must just be like, just cutting corners, because he's obviously not, right? But he somehow can put out 2 to 3 sci-fi books a year. He's just kind of proven that they're always just going to be quality. But if some other dude, Adrian Blydrovsky, right, started putting out 3 sci-fi books a year, my first thought would be like, okay, how are those going to be, to the quality that I would expect? He just has to prove me wrong. And so it's an interesting conversation to have, because everybody does write at such a different pace. You can have a guy who wrote for 5 years and it's not edited well enough, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to toss in like these authors who are attaching their releases to dates that they have to meet for events like Wind and Truth, for example. And like you could argue that a lot of the issues with that book may be attached to the fact that he had to get that book done by a date where he sold a bunch of tickets for a thing, right? And that's obviously conjecture, but Riggs believes it's true. So it must be, right? But 100%. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, especially going back to like the tropes thing, because I don't think those are for people who actually read. I think a lot of times those are trying to grab the people who read like 3 books a year. And like, yes, those are readers, but I think there's different levels to how much you read, how often you read. Is that like, for most of us, that is the medium we probably go to first. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of movies. I have replaced those things with reading more than anything else. So I think a lot of those things that bookstores and publishers do, they're not doing it for us. We are the people that they're neglecting, because they know we're going to find the books we want to read regardless. They're more concerned about the person who's walking into a store because they were out at Target and they walked through the book section on their way to something else, and they might have 5 seconds to grab somebody's attention with a cover, or this is, even if it's not 100% accurate, this is close enough to what this book is about. That's why every book for 10 years after a Game of Thrones was on TV was a Game of Thrones meets something else.
Yeah.
It's not for what we'll call it veteran readership, where it's like, I mean, I know how to find a book. I know how to look for things that I think I'm going to like, and like do a little research on it. So many people, I mean, the average person probably reads like 7 pages a year. Like it's for those people that we're trying to pull them in. We're trying to make them one of us. And yeah, I think that's kind of where the trope stuff comes into. And I mean, and then the quickness of writing, it kind of goes back to the same thing where it's like, if you can't keep this person's attention, they're going to get pulled to something else, which is not fair, but it's that trying to transition people into readers, which I think probably gets harder and harder every year. So
Yeah.
that's
I think
kind of what I think about it.
people who want completed series and go, I'm not reading this until it's completed, I think that's fine. Like, if people just have that sort of issue with things, been burned in the past, I don't know. That never bothers me. Like, I really don't care if a series isn't finished. Because I'd rather it be there and be good and not be finished, and us to be able to come together as a community to be able to like talk about it, than it be like rushed out. And also, there are so many series out there and so many books out there. Just pick what's out there. Don't try to rush what people are working on now.
Yeah, I think your average bookstore too, like Tom was talking about, how this is ultimately a conversation about people who aren't like us because we're the weirdos, right? I think your average bookstore, and maybe they're not even going to a bookstore, maybe they're just going to Target. If a book series isn't releasing at a quick enough rate, the chances that Barnes and Noble even has book one for a lot of these series is pretty low, right? And so there's been times where I've been like, that looks like a cool book, and I grab it off the shelf and I'm like, sick cover, book 2. Okay, where's book 1?
Always book 2.
They don't have that one, right? Because the hardcover was 5 years ago. and then the paperback, maybe they had 2 in print, and then they sold them, and they never got another couple copies. I mean, and a lot of these bookstores don't even restock book 1s when book 2 comes in, and so you just end up, if you're a regular normal human being who's just walking into a bookstore, if you're not grabbing a book 1 or a series that is popping out books like crazy, or just one of the 3 or 4 series that is always stocked, you're probably going to struggle to even get a book 1. And I think that could have, an impact on the normal reader who's just looking for something to try, right? And so, yeah, I think that could have an effect where it pushes the people who are putting these books out to try to have them within a shorter time frame, totally, so that maybe they exist on the shelf for a little bit longer together.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good one. A lot of good conversation there. It is now my time, and I have decided to not rant about what I was going to rant about. I was going to rant about, nobody's surprised here, I was going to rant about the video about how the booktube community and fantasy is gatekeepy and we all read the same books. But I'm going to let that one go. I'm going to...
Proud of you.
Brush off, thanks. Finally letting it go. I'm going to talk about something way pettier, okay?
Let's go.
Classic.
And this actually just came to my head while Tom was talking, and we were talking about Barnes and Nobles and bookstores and Targets. I'm tired of the publishing industry obviously purposefully deceiving the average reader by having covers of books that are not accurate to what's in the book. Okay, hear me out. My sweet wife, okay, she just wanted a nice, cozy little romance story, right? So she goes to Target. My sweet, adorable wife, she goes to Target and she picks up this book and she's like, oh, this looks so sweet. It's definitely not one of those books. And then she grabs it and she doesn't look it up on Goodreads because she doesn't know better. And she comes home and she starts to read it, and we're sitting in bed and she looks at me and she says, yeah, I can't read this anymore. I was like, why? It's just the Cinnamon Bakery Club or whatever.
Oh.
Right? And then she was like, no, it's not.
The
It's not
Pumpkin
the
Spice
Cinnamon
Cafe or
Bakery
something.
Club. Yeah. And I looked at the cover and I'm sitting there going, that doesn't look like a smut novel or anything even kind of close to it, right? And
Just like cutesy cartoons.
yeah, it was. I've heard that the ones like with the hockey player, like the thing now I see in Target a lot is like they look like teen romances where like girl is in love with hockey player. I've heard those things are wild on the inside, right?
There are so many hockey romances.
Why is that a thing where, and that's just one example. I know there's a lot of romantasy novels that try to masquerade as fantasy. And then the opposite, you're starting to get some fantasy novels that try to look like romantasy novels in their cover and their artwork, and even their titles and things like that. And it's like, if you want people to love your book, you would think that you would try to market it to the group of people who want to buy your book, right? Our buddy Matt bought a book a couple months ago. I can't remember what it was called, but he showed me the front cover and I was like, that's a samurai fantasy novel. And he was like, nope, romance. And I was like,
I think I know exactly what book you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, how is that? That's not a romance cover. And he was like, yeah, it looks like he thought he was buying samurai fantasy.
So one with like 4 swords on it, right?
5 broken blades.
Maybe.
Isn't it a samurai romantasy?
Yeah.
Yes, but it doesn't say, it just doesn't look
It is
like
the least
indicates
romantasy
romance.
looking cover.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe that's purposeful. Maybe it's not. I really do think it is. But I just don't think that it makes sense if you want the author to find an audience beyond just selling a book on the front end, right? I think that we should do a better job of attaching. We all know what artwork conveys, right? We know when I look at a cover, I should be able to say, I know what is going to happen in terms of what this book is going to feel like, right? And I think that it's interesting that traditional, especially in the fantasy genre, is starting to try to blur that line almost to maybe sell more books to a certain crowd. But I had like most romantasy readers that I know, if they picked up a book that they thought was romantasy and they got Sanderson, they would not be happy, right? And like, so who does that help? I don't think that helps anybody.
No
That's
one.
my rant.
Okay, I am jumping in here to comment 2 things. One, I did a social experiment just on my husband where I showed him the cinnamon whatever, and he definitely had the same thought of that is just a wholesome, sweet book. Nope, it is not. 2, Fourth Wing did that criminally. Not only did it have the cover that makes it look like it's an epic fantasy, but then on the back it was like Game of Thrones, and I had pre-ordered that because it read the description and the little tropes that they put on there. Read, it was like brutal fantasy. Next, Game of Thrones. No, not even a little bit.
So wrong.
I'm with you.
I think Tom was going to show us something.
I'm curious. I never actually read the back, so this one doesn't have like any blurbs on it.
It was just the thing on Amazon. So
okay.
It was just the
that marketing
the
line.
3 lines where they put the.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so I mean, he just doesn't. I get the short term, right? I get on the short term. It's like we might be able to get a couple more books off the shelf, especially at like a Target, right? Where we're probably most people who buy books at Target only are really just trying to grab something to read while they're at the beach, or because they've got some downtime, or because like, they're not reading to the level we are. They're not as plugged into the level that we are. But how does that help that person find something they want? I think it actually does the opposite.
Especially those cutesy cartoon ones, because they don't give you the vibe that that's going to be a smut book at all. And some people just like super don't want to read that.
Yeah. I wonder too, do you think maybe, I think I'm thinking too much about this. Do you think maybe that like we've gone away from the obviously smutty covers because it's like a little embarrassing to read that in person?
Oh, 100%.
Well, here's the problem too.
Like, the full chest.
Yeah.
Those books, as I'm finding out, those books were not like the books that come out today. They weren't as smutty as the books that are. They just looked worse on the outside. But now we have kind of the opposite. Looks better on the outside. Looks like it's more wholesome, and then on the inside, it's not. And I think I wonder where it started, because I think that's the problem is wherever it started, and it like caught like wildfire, essentially, because adult cartoons are a thing, but it doesn't. None of the covers give adult, but now when I see them, all I think of is this is a smutty book, because of the cartoony covers are so frequently smut books. But I only know that because I'm a part of the book community. But like, as you say, the average person coming into the bookstore is going to see all these books, and they may even think, oh, like this looks safe. I could give this to my teenager or whatever. Yeah. And there are some books that have those cartoony covers that do have some adult content on the inside that are in the young adult section, which young adult is 12 to 18 years old. Yeah. So that's also another conversation for another time.
No, 100%. I agree with you. When I see the cartoony, if there's a guy and a girl on a cover and it's cartoony, my first thought is like secret smut. That's my first. It's like, that's a secret smut
at this point, yeah. I mean,
especially if it's in Target.
There are some smutty books in Target.
Secret smut. Yeah, and I do think it's a little bit. I noticed it last time I was at Barnes and Noble in the fantasy section. Almost every book in the fantasy new and notable section looked like a straight fantasy novel on the cover. I could not have picked out the romantasy ones, even though I knew some of them were. Almost all of them did that 5 broken blades thing where it was like, that seems to be trying to imply that it's at least like 90-10, right? And I haven't read any of those books, so I don't know, but I've just kind of heard that many of them are definitely more on the romantasy leaning side. Was Nevernight really marketed as YA? That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People got it wrong, but J. Kristoff has been very adamant that no, it is not YA. Please stop doing that.
Because you can literally read the first page and know instantly that it is not.
It has never been YA.
Well, we had a whole argument in the Discord about what a YA novel even is, right? And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. If you're not in the Discord, obviously get in the Discord. The link is in the description for the Bookstreet Boys. But I think that's a whole nother can of beans to kind of open. But I don't know. I'm the kind of person who loves at least a couple times a year to go to a bookstore, grab something based off of the cover, It doesn't happen as much now that I'm like super hyper kind of chronically plugged into the book space, because there's typically not much. Usually if I'm doing that, it's like it's going to be like a literary fiction or just in the fiction section. That's where I'm not plugged in, right? But I don't have to worry about those ever being like kind of off. It's really only ever the fantasy or the or the any of the speculative stuff. But yeah, I know it's gotten my wife a couple times, and she's starting to be like, I just want a beach book for the, I'm like, well, there's this thing called Goodreads.
Yeah, you got to do your research.
Yeah.
Or just 100%. Like safest way to do it. This is something I do because I don't like smut or spice in books. Does blank have spice? Because that's a big question that people like to ask. For the other reason, they want it to be in the book. I don't. So I'm like, okay, does this have spice? It doesn't? Okay, cool. So I can read it, essentially. But yeah, there are some... I can get with you on that because I do know an author who specifically doesn't do smut in her books, like romance, like just fluffy romance books for your wife to read at the beach. So.
Yeah, send those over, But no, I wonder how often it happens the opposite, where someone grabs a book that they think is smut, and then it's like Sanderson level kissing, and they're like, "What in the world? I have wasted my money. There's so many closed doors in this book."
I've seen enough rants on that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
People go for that specifically.
Oh my gosh, never, not clicking on that one. All right. Anything else we want to say on that soapbox topic?
If there was, and I forgot.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, well, publishers are just going to put it on books if it sells. Like that's all that.
Yeah.
That matters to them. And that was it. Authors a lot of the times do not have the choice on what their cover is going to be. They don't have a choice of the cover artist.
Right.
So they could come out with whatever romance book, romantasy, fantasy, and they have this great book, and then their cover is not at all what they want it to be, but they have no choice. So for those in the audience who may not know that, I think a lot of us already knew that, but
yeah, I think we're so inundated in our little corner of BookTube with like the hyper presence of self-pub that we forget about how many things are different in like super traditional publishing. Or like, if JCM is still here, I don't know if he is, right? Like no one's ever looked at him and been like, this has to be your cover, bro. Right? He's the one that was like, I want a bear fighting my main character.
Right.
But I've heard multiple, I think it was a Stephen King interview I even saw one time where he was like, they just told me this was the cover, and I was like, and whatever's selling is selling, right? But man, I don't know about you guys, but I love when I can look at a cover and know exactly what it is.
100%.
Yeah.
I think a subgenre that does that really well is like every cozy fantasy book I see, I'm like, that's a cozy fantasy book. Like within
urban fantasy too.
Within a
very distinct cover.
All of the urban fantasies look the same, because I posted in the Discord yesterday 2 of them that I've been considering, and I asked if Mike read them, and I put them side by side and was like, those look like the same series, and they were completely different. Rick says that I keep censoring him. That's so untrue. So untrue. Would never do that. Would never do that. All right, we are to the last section of the chat. It's been a fantastic 2 hours, but I know that Chance needs to go to bed if he's even still in here. I do want to, let's pop this one up real quick. My take on the topic is to let people read what they want. At the end of the day, the romantic genre is what is keeping the book industry alive. Yeah, read what you want, when you want. I heard a smart guy say that one time. My big gripe is just make the covers clearly distinguished based on what's in the books, right? So that way the romantasy reader can find the romantasy and doesn't end up picking up a book that is not what they want, for sure. Justin said this is a marathon. This is nothing. Okay, we could go for 12 more hours. What was that?
Sound like a motorcycle somewhere.
Oh,
sorry.
Somebody's stealing your motorcycle, Tom?
Tom's getting ready for a ride, late night ride.
I am riding tomorrow.
Nice. So for our last bit, we're just going to go around, give any channel updates, and tell us what you are currently reading. So I will get us started. Channel updates. My channel still exists. I will have a video out tomorrow. It's going to be on my priority reads for 2026, just like everyone else is doing. So I'm excited for that. I've got some really interesting ones. And I'm also considering putting out a long form review of The Strength of the Few, along with a little bit of a rant, which was going to be what I was going to rant about here initially. Just a little bit of a rant about the responses I've had to that review. Essentially, I hate the book, and no one's going to read it now because I said it was 3.5 out of 5 stars. I've gotten a lot of those. And so I would like to reiterate that I really enjoyed it, but still talk a little bit about the issues with it, and talk a little bit about how when a book is lower than our expectations, we tend to focus on the negative, even if the book is really good. So if you thought a book was going to be bad and it's a 3.5, most of the reviews are going to be positive because like, hey, this is why the book was better than I thought it would be. And if you thought a book was going to be a 5 and it was a 3.5, like most of your time is probably going to be negative, but it's the same rating, right? And so most of my Strength of the Few review was negative. And so I want to do a little bit of a video on that probably and talk about the pros and the cons and why I felt the way I did about that book. So don't typically do long form reviews on the channel. They do not do that well for the most part. It'll probably be spoiler free, but I'll probably do that as well as my 2026 updates. And you guys know what I'm reading. I'm reading Shadows Upon Time, this beautiful, wonderful man right here. I am only physically reading it. Usually when I'm reading a chunker like this, I do physical and audio when I'm not able to read physical. But I am audiobooking The River We Remember. Why am I blanking on the name of the author? Oh, gosh. William Kent Kruger. I'm audiobooking The River We Remember, William Kent Kruger. It is like a murder mystery. He has one of my favorite books, Ordinary Grace, of all time. So it's been really good so far. Super different than Shadows Upon Time, but enjoying that on audio while I physically read this beautiful man, Shadows Upon Time. All right, Tom, channel updates. What you reading?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna hold up my way better edition of Shadows Upon Time for everybody.
That's signed by the author.
One of one signed editions of actually of all the Sun Eater books and everything, but that's what I'm reading. I'm only on chapter 3, so even though I got the book early, I'm not very far in. Hopefully that will change soon. So yeah, that's what I'm reading, and I have a bunch of stuff planned as far as my reading stuff goes. I need to make some decisions on what I'm actually going to read, because there's just too much and not enough time, especially this time of the year. This time of the year, I don't know about you guys, but my reading either spikes or completely dies. Just with like the holidays and stuff. On the channel, I'll do a weekly update this week, then probably a TBR monthly wrap up, and then start diving into that sweet end of the year content. That's like my favorite stuff to do and talk about, especially because you guys know I'm weird and I like track all these stats and like rank all of my reading and all of that fun stuff.
Your stats are thorough.
I try.
Thorough.
I don't know. Somebody did show me their spreadsheet, and I was embarrassed. So at the gala,
there's a guy in the Tutor Ramble Discord, might be the same guy, who tracks his daily pages read, and then it has an Excel spreadsheet of like he's got it all formulated out. So he does like weekly average based on each day that he puts in, and then like how quick it took, how quick he read each book based on. Dude, I was like, brother.
Matt from Matt's Fantasy Book Reviews has a spreadsheet similar to that where it will predict how long it will take him to read a book based on like his previous reading and stuff. So like I'm definitely not the pinnacle of the spreadsheets, but like at least I have one. So I'm like in the game.
Wow.
You know?
At least I have one.
Yeah, at least I have one. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And, stoked to hear about Tom Orange's top 10 books of 2025.
I'm just gonna cycle through these real quick too, because like
love it.
I am
backwards. See, these are covers that really tell me what's in the book.
That's a romantasy novel.
These prepare me for the content.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And then I do have the novellas as well. Just to. And honestly, I got to be honest. Jealous. I was definitely very, very nervous to get him to see these because it's like, well, he might like this is his life work. He might not appreciate these really dumb, silly covers. but he did. So
As long as he has a good sense of
oh no,
humor,
he thought they were
Yes.
hilarious.
which we know he does.
Yeah,
So
no,
like,
I know, and he told me they were the most unique thing he's ever signed. So
Let's go.
I'm gonna keep saying that over and over again. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Nice. Noelle, what's going on the channel? What you reading?
yeah, so I haven't posted in quite some time on the channel, but I kind of like dropped off the face of the earth for a little while and been focusing very much on life stuff, on school. I have a Spanish placement exam that I'm taking literally on Monday. So once that is over, I will be back doing book things, which I'm very excited about. So I went to the gala not having read like most of the Sun Eater. However, it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. So it was yeah, so though I read it a little while ago, I will be putting out a long form review of Empire of Silence and all of my thoughts of every chapter. So like as I was reading, like within it'd go like chapter 30 to chapter 40, something like that, like 10 chapter increments where I would note down things that were important. Beginning of the book from 1 to chapter 33 is actually vlog form, and then all of a sudden stopped doing that and then decided to do the 10th. So it's going to be a little bit all over the place, but it's going to be a good time. And I also have a longer video about talking about the differences in reading romance and romantasy, as I'm not a romance or romantasy reader. I'm just fantasy reader, trying to be convinced by two others in the community, Evie and Anita. Did a video with those two lovely ladies, and we talked about why they read romance. Why do they read romantasy? What is, what's the draw to it? How can they try to convince me to read those things so I can try to open up my mind and my reading a bit. And I am currently kind of in between books. Started Red Seas Under Red Skies. It's very different than The Lies of Mora. And then also started The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman.
Nice.
So
that's a lot of crassness in your reading right now. That's so much sarcasm.
Yeah. Is the Empire of Silence vlog going to be in Spanish?
Ooh.
That would be crazy.
Like
I have thought about starting to do Spanish content.
We should have.
I know a guy who could help.
Podcast in Spanish, and none of us would have had. I don't know if any of you guys.
I wouldn't have been able to.
I was going to say.
How do you know I'm not fluent?
I don't. But
rude.
None of us would have understood anything she said, but it would have been funny.
But it would have been funny.
So rude. I know,
I actually, as I was thinking about this meeting, because I'm so ready for my placement exam, I'd think about what I'm going to say on the stream, but I'd think about it in Spanish. I'm like,
nice.
I don't have to speak Spanish for this. What's happening? Yeah.
Anyway. Life is just Spanish.
It is. That's why it's been hard to read, because if I'm reading in English, I'm like, I'm wasting my time. I'm not studying. So that's why I haven't read in the past couple months.
You gotta get the Spanish versions of the books.
That would take me forever to read.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, I don't know this word. Now I have to go translate it.
Oh my gosh. I remember in college, I had to take Greek and Hebrew in college and masters and stuff. And my friends and stuff, some of my friends are my family wouldn't understand that it's not a normal speaking it. I'm like, that's not how this works.
We're learning, yeah.
And also, I barely know enough to pass my exams. Let's calm down here. Right?
I'm not there.
Yeah. My first Hebrew class was it's called J term, so it was just in January, and it was 2 3-hour classes. It was 4 3-hour classes for 3 weeks. So it was intense. It was drinking from a fire hydrant. And the final exam, the guy just handed us a piece of paper in Hebrew and said, translate that. And it was all of Genesis 1. It was bad. It didn't go very well. But yeah, I don't remember any of it either. I've lost all of it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So
yeah.
I do have some special editions of the Harry Potter books in Spanish.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, cool. I have the first 4 in the 50th edition. They're the house editions, so they're colored. It's really cool. Nice. Yeah. but unfortunately there are 7 books and not 8, so I can't have all houses 2 times. So I have
yeah.
not bought the other 3 because I don't know exactly how I'm going to plan that out for myself. So
How do you say Wingardium Leviosa in Spanish?
it would be the same because it's
Yeah.
already.
It's a made up word.
Is it Leviosa? Okay, moving on. Moving on. Besties, which one of you guys wants to talk about the channel? Or both of you? You guys just go back
I got
and forth?
this.
One
Oh,
word
yeah.
at a time?
Well, yes. So we
We-
have. I should have trusted the hive mind. I'm sorry. No, we have a lot of end of year content coming up. We, because of holidays and travel and all the things. We
have outfit changes for Christmas. Like
we
ready
have
to
so many
go.
Christmas outfits. It's weird.
Wow.
But we're gonna wrap up our like weekly chronicle on Tuesday, and then December will just be a whole bunch of end of year content because we couldn't really film regularly because of schedule stuff. So we just
Someone has to take like family trips or something.
a little vacation.
Spend holidays with
time.
their family.
It'd be like
Cringe.
that. I'm not sorry.
We're your family.
Yeah, but there's that for the channel. So just a lot of end of year content coming up that we're super excited for. And then I currently am reading The Raven Scholar. I just started it last night and I'm really enjoying it.
Nice.
I'm taking my time with it. I was deciding whether to kind of speed read it so that I would have it complete to talk about for our videos today. But I was like, no, stop that, because I read 2 books over the past 2 days and was like, you're good. You can, yeah.
She
just
loved
went
both
crazy
of them.
this week. Actually, those that I posted were done a while ago. I just could finally post them today. Anyway, beside the point, I've crammed a whole lot of books in actually over the past few days. And so I started Raven Scholar, and one of our friends was actually raving to us about it and was like, I need y'all to read this. And I was like, girl, I'm already starting it. Like, I'm there. And so I wanted to read it faster. And then I was like, calm down. So I'll have it done by the time we see her. And then she and I can talk about it. That's beside the point. But yeah, just taking my time with that one, because when I started it too, I was like, oh, I like this. I was like, oh, I want to sit with this. I don't want to speed through this. Like the other two I read were like kind of lighter reads, so I could go through them faster. But this one I was like, oh, I want to sit in here for as long as possible. And I've just started. Like, it feels really good. So I'm only reading that one right now. And then, yeah, that's my one active read. Tabitha?
Awesome.
I just finished Goblin Emperor today, and that was fantastic. 10 out of 10. And then I'm on volume 8 of 20th Century Boys.
Oh my gosh,
Which
you have flown
the people-
by all of us.
The people I started reading this with have now fizzled out.
I have books waiting for me.
How dare they?
I've read 3 of them.
More than I've read. I read the first 2. It's so crazy too, because they're
It's
manga
so
and they're so
good.
easy to read and they're so good, and I'm still like, nah.
And you don't even have to like buy the next one.
No,
Preacher
she
at
has
least has the
them.
excuse.
That's
of, like,
that's
he has to buy
literally
each of them.
that's my whole problem. Is it hurts to spend $25 on something I can read in 2 nights.
Get them
Like,
from the
yeah.
library.
But I like owning them, Tom. I have a problem.
Oh, I
Okay.
let go of that so long ago.
Yeah, I started buying One Piece.
See, that's why. That's
That's right.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So you said volume 8? Is that what
Yeah.
you said? Volume 8.
Mhm.
Is it still going strong? You still enjoying it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Heck yeah. 3 was good. I enjoyed 3. It changed a
It's
lot.
gone off the rails. It's completely different than where you are right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I can figure
Wildly
that.
different.
It was already starting to do that in 3. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened to the storyline? You know?
Ooh.
It's
Well,
very yeah.
That's okay.
Spoilers.
I'm so. I did it. Tom's
How
gonna be
dare
so
you
mad
say
at me.
anything.
Tom's gonna be so mad at me.
I was just thinking about that too.
Yeah. Gosh. If you guys haven't read 20th Century Boys, it is really good though. But only up through the 3rd one. I couldn't tell you after that. So
It's still good. It stays good.
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. And to everybody in the chat, you guys are the bomb. We had a great time. I think that the live format is perfect for the silliness of you guys. Not me, you guys. I think that we're gonna have to keep doing it this way. Season 2 is gonna pop off. Now, I did hear Justin said the season 3 we need to go for 12-hour episodes, but
You know,
so we'll just have to prepare for that.
whatever it takes.
It's a season away. We're good, right? It's not until quarter 2, 2026. So just prepare
however
yourself
many
for the 12-hour episodes.
away.
Yeah, as many as we decide in the meeting that we have to talk about this.
In our
It
very
happens.
corporate meeting.
It
very
It definitely
professional.
happens.
I wear an orange tie.
It's
Yeah.
quite stunning.
It's planned. It's in my Google Calendar for sure. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Mark's Book Lounge says he missed everything. You didn't. You could go back and you could rewatch it. You could be a part of the replay squad. It's worth it, I think. But we had a great time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you are not subscribed to any of these channels, you can find them in the description. If you are not in the Bookstreet Boys Discord, you can find it in the description. It is the place to be. We ran the Sun Eater Gala. That's all I'm saying. We ran the Sun Eater Gala. I heard it on good authority that Chris Ferraggio said that the Bookstreet Boys was the coolest part of the gala. Just saying. That didn't
makes
happen.
sense.
I lied. It didn't happen. But we
Definitely
were
not his book or anything.
we were the coolest part of like the bowling alley.
It's true.
I didn't know
possibly the
either.
coolest
Entire
part of
part
at
of the
least
bowling alley.
2 bars in Raleigh. So but awesome. Well, you guys have anything else you guys want to say before we close out? Read what
Thanks
you
for
want when
inviting
you
me.
want.
Yeah, read what you want when you want.
Thanks for inviting me, and
We're so happy to have you,
Peace
preacher.
out.
chaos. I'm just kidding.